like that. You know what I mean? Go ahead. What y'all think about what Obama said?
It's exactly what I just said, but I mean, apparently a lot of people don't agree with that here, but it kind of furthers my point about how, like, because about how um, there's a little bit of homophobia that does exist in the Black community, and does needs to be solved, or at least I think it needs to be solved. And yeah,
But I still don't get specifically
what needs to be solved?
right.
the homophobia part. I mean, well, first off, let me ask this question: you like? Well, first off, yeah, now do we acknowledge? Do they acknowledge that homophobia is a problem?
You need to stop.
Yeah,
They
Uncle
can't hear you
John
right
might
now.
need some
It's
easy.
on your
And
mic, bro.
for the record, I'm not saying that's the only problem. We should all take our focus on that because there's a lot of problems in the Black community.
Stop being gay, nigga. Ain't gonna
Sir,
stop.
your mic is messed up. We don't understand what you're saying.
Yeah,
Go
your
make
mic.
it. Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I'm not saying that's the only problem we should be solving or whatever, but but I'm saying it is a problem that I feel that needs to be solved.
What is a
the fact of the
problem?
matter is this:
You want straight people to stop not wanting to be gay? Fuck homophobia. You
Well, fact
niggas
of the matter
stop
is,
being gay.
people are okay. Well, fact of the matter is this: whether we like it or not, people are going to do what the fuck they're
No,
going to do. No matter
you
what.
niggas stop being gay. Don't tell
There
us
is
to
a you
stop.
gotta let him rock.
People are going to do what they're going to do, especially when it comes to their sexual desires. Right. So I imagine that there's going to be
That's your desires. That's your desires.
You
You try to tell us to accept gay niggas. No, you niggas stop being gay. We ain't got to accept shit.
It's that easy to just tell people to stop being gay and ban them.
I'm gonna tell you just like I did. I did today. Nigga, fuck you niggas. Stop being gay.
And
Wait a minute. I think if it was that easy,
that has always worked throughout history, right? Just telling people to stop being gay, right? That has always worked for gay people, right?
And accept gay people.
All I need is one mic. All I need is one mic.
we gotta go on the thing. The chat can't hear us.
They go front, boy. You wild there.
Stop being gay has always worked with gay people, right? Just telling gay people to stop being gay. That has always worked, and bam, they just turn around and not.
Well, don't tell me to accept the shit.
Well, like it or not, they're gonna do it, and at the same time, they're being gay with someone else, not you. So, like,
well, that's fine. Then you stay on your side of town. I ain't got to accept it though.
Okay, if we accept someone being gay, how does it affect you? You're still will be a heterosexual man.
I'm not going to accept it. You do it over there. I don't like it.
Okay, and I guess there's going to continue to be gay people, and there's going to be more gay people.
And I'm going to continue not to fuck with
in the future. So, like,
yep, shun them niggas, cast them out, stone them.
I think if it was that easy to tell people to stop being gay, a lot of them would have stopped being gay. But I do think if you already gay, it's selfish for you to want to turn other people like that. That is the craziest shit to me. You know what I'm saying?
It's also crazy though for y'all to tell a person stop being gay when we know as a man, if that man is gay, ain't no coming back. Y'all, that's stupid as fuck for y'all to say that.
Why I gotta accept it?
And say that.
I
just said it's stupid as fuck for you telling him to stop being gay when it don't matter. He's gonna be gay for the rest of his life now.
Need to accept it.
Why you keep saying that? Nobody telling you to accept shit. No, is nobody.
You don't gotta
accept it, bro.
You don't gotta accept it, but telling them to stop, I don't think they're gonna stop just because you tell them.
They're not.
I don't care. That's fine. You won't, but don't tell me to. I don't have to accept that shit. No.
To me, my whole gripe started. It's also the hood conservative, right? If whatever people doing, if they got their own community and their own crowd that they link with, that's different. But when you're trying to force me to change my vocabulary to suit you and do all of this shit, now you're doing the most. And when trans gentlemen saying that they only mess with straight niggas, that is kind of predatory.
It is.
A nigga being straight means he's not fucking with that shit. And you praying on it, that is you know what I'm saying? You literally trying to infringe in my reality. And that is when I'm like, look, man, you're doing too much. You know what I'm saying?
That's when they come disrespectful.
You guys gotta accept it. This is the
Right,
new
right.
way. Like that's all I'm saying.
Now,
Now, if you
nobody
wanna do
gotta
that,
accept
that's
the
you.
motherfucker.
But I don't have to agree
A
with
nigga
it. You like
come at me with
the new
fucking
world.
talking about he like me and touch me and all that other shit, nigga. We finna fight.
I think,
Right.
I think, I think we
The only thing I could accept is
I
that
don't
we
have to.
humans. Only thing I could accept is that we humans. But what you doing, I don't gotta accept that shit. You know what I'm saying? Don't bring that shit in my yard.
I agree.
I think
agree.
as people who disagree, we all have a sort of, as men, we have a visceral disgust of it. Like when you study this, the male brain responds the same way as if we're looking at maggots or a pile of shit. Two men kissing pulls up that same kind of disgust in the male brain. Now the thing is, we kind of have to be able to verbalize it better for the purpose of like political debate. Because this is what's happening right here. Homeboy in the middle, who guy has his camera up, because it's weird. You're the only one with your camera up, so you're kind of like fighting off the crowd right now. And I need you to explain to the crowd that you're selling this to, how does the black community benefit from two men having sex? What is the positive gains from that?
So, let me get on camera too, so he's not alone. I'll show my pink shirt off.
No, you need to leave him alone. Damn it, don't kill the vibe. He was alone for a reason, nigga.
nah, don't do that. You know, like
Well, we need somebody to show their face because we know your ass ain't gonna show your face, hood servant, ugly motherfucker.
No,
Always
exactly.
Oh, yo,
I'm invisible and
I don't know what it is with a dude like Ism. Everywhere he go, he like one of them niggas from the Dave Chappelle skit. Just a professional inbred hater.
Visible and ugly, bro. I got problems. Don't focus on me. You're just gonna be sad. You focus on me, you're gonna be depressed, bro.
Don't show your ugly mug talking about black women all the time. I bet you won't show your
See,
ugly face.
look. Why are you changing the subject, my nigga? This is how the gays got so much clout, because you keep wanting to focus on me. Let's focus on the mission, my brother. Let's focus on the mission, my brother. Come on.
I
At
guarantee
best,
you.
it will show. At best, it'll show how black people are better than the black.
He ain't gonna show his face. He just gonna talk
Hold
about
on, bro. See, I ain't even insult the man, by the way. I just pointed out that he had his camera up. I'm not even trying to make it like that. You kind of going in a direction we never went.
wrong, nigga.
Here we go, bro. So hold on. How does it make us better then, though? By what metric are you using the word better?
It's weird, bro. These niggas that like fancy themselves as players in Mac, they always wind up saying and thinking some borderline suspect shit. Why are you so worried about me, nigga? You way too, for a nigga that claimed to be getting all these bitches, you be fascinated by random niggas on YouTube, bro. That shit's really disgusting.
Pressures with the white supremacists that exist.
No. That's how he is. He's a black man in white things. He is a white If he ever show his face, he might lose his job. So that's why I wanted to show his ugly mug. He got a face only a mother can love, and the bitches don't like him. So he's mad at black women. So I want him to show that ugly mug. Show it, nigga.
I want to know why.
I'm not mad at black women, but okay.
I want to know why.
Yeah, the brother was trying to answer the question though. Like you kind of stepped all over his answer. Can I hear your answer, please, Coily?
Somebody stepped over your face at birth, nigga.
Wait, Uncle Ism. Let Omega go. You got it, Omega.
The best answer I could come up with is it does show that we are a better race as far as our oppressors, which is the white supremacists that exist within the white community. Because
now his logic right here is that if Black America were to embrace the rainbow, it would make us better than white people. And so there's immediately this weird, not even subtle association with straightness being a white thing. Like to be straight, to be like rigidly straight is to be white. So therefore to be gay, to be a gay revolutionary is to be black.
It does show that we are a better race as far as our oppressors, which is the white supremacists that exist within the white community, because it'll show
That's a very liberal answer, bro.
Okay, well, I guess
When you say a thing like better, that implies a metric system, a value that you're using, and I'm like, well, based on what? Because if it's like based on Islam, it's not better. If it's based on mathematics, it's literally not better. Mathematically, it's just not better. You're mathematically depleting the population. So I don't understand where you're coming from when you say better.
I'm not speaking mathematically. I'm speaking morally. Like it will showcase that we have better morals.
By what moral framework? Who wrote the moral book that you're reading from?
I'm not reading from the book. I'm just telling you my answer.
So you're making it up then. You see what I mean?
My answer. I'm just playing my answer.
You're in the witness. Let me ask him this, and let 18 let it get in with a questioning, right?
Ah, man. Niggas don't understand the problem. Don't accuse me of badgering the witness, and then you cut me off to ask the nigga exactly what I'm about to ask him.
He definitely.
I want to ask you this here, right?
Don't protect niggas, bro. Let niggas stand on their own 2 feet, bro. I don't understand all this protection niggas be getting.
In my answer,
protecting him like he a bitch or something, man. What the hell?
In the witness. Let me ask him this, and let 18 let it get in with a questioning, right?
He definitely.
I want to ask you this here, right? When you say morals, right? How do you measure your morals? Is it based off of religion? Is it based off of like just human empathy? Like, what is your morals based off of?
That's a pretty vague question. Like, what do you mean?
No, what do you base it off of?
It's still a base.
That's exactly the question I was trying to get you to answer, bro. Come on, where you coming from?
Because it's still a vague question. Like,
Hold
on. As far as like, how do I construct my system of morality? Like,
do you make it up as you go along, or do you have like a moral foundation? You know what I mean?
I base it off. Well, right now, I say I based off of life experience. Like, it's like
non-binary.
How do I come up with
non-binary?
I think he's saying he based it off.
I make it up as I go. I'm non-binary.
Really can't be wrong because of the fact that I'm taking the life from somebody. As far as I got.
No, we understand you. You make it up as you go along. So let's go with that.
I mean, well, I feel like everybody.
It sounds like he's saying that his morals. Wait a minute. It sounds like he's saying his morals is based off of empathy, because he's saying the black experience he's trying to come. You know what I'm saying? Is based off of like is based off his feelings, basically.
Right.
You make it up
That's what everybody does. To be fair, I feel like
that's what a bitch do. A bitch go.
Well, not everybody does.
Wait a minute, could we have?
Does do that.
That's why we don't. That's why our conversations be so short and it turn into shits. You know what I'm saying? We could all disagree civilly. You know what I'm saying? If we trying to, you know what I'm saying?
A woman go off feelings though, bro.
I think the witch doctor guy, I don't know how long he'd been doing this YouTube thing, especially when you're having a panel with a bunch of niggas trying to talk over each other. Even when it's well intentioned, once the panel gets more than 4 or 5 guys, you gotta crack the whip. You gotta do some nigga wrangling. Because otherwise the panel gets out of control and then you're not gonna be happy with the nature and the tone of the conversation. As the host, you gotta keep things in order, bro. It's the only way it's gonna work.
And emotions. I just say it that y'all won't say it. That's what a bitch do. Feelings and emotions. Okay? If you want to go by the word of God or the Bible and all this, it say that's an abomination, and we don't have to agree with it. Stay over
all
there.
of us don't subscribe to the Bible, though.
Right. So respectfully, even though this midget Sir Ism says weird shit, he's right. It is emotion. It's just it's about how Omega feels. It ain't based in nothing else other than his feelings.
So ain't that what a woman do? Go off feelings?
Well, but that's not the point. That's true. That's true, but it's not the point.
Why you can't hood conservative nightish? Why y'all can't be some good uncles and just say, nephew, you acting like a hoe? You going off feelings and emotions, and you need to go by the law of the land. You are a boy, Damon.
Ism, you got just let me just put it so I don't got no kids, right? But one thing I would say, you can approach everybody the same way if you really want to get through to them. You know what I'm saying? So certain shit that would work on like a person like me, like I done got a lot of punch to the chest and all of that shit. You know what I'm saying? That I learned to appreciate when I get older. But certain people, you're not gonna reach out to them like that. You know what I mean?
But even then, like with my own son, bro, like I could tell my son, don't be a girl, stop acting like the girls and all that. But even when I throw that jab at him, I have to show him how to act like a man. Because like that's literally the role. So you can't just punch him in the chest. And that's only a surface level thing.
Because the showing of an example, like what Hood Conservative just said, that's like literally the most effective way. Because a lot of old heads told me not to do this growing up, not to gamble, not to smoke. But I seen them doing the shit. So what I grew up doing, the same dumb shit. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times telling people that shit is not going to work. And still look and see what you're doing.
I understand what Witch Doctor is saying, but I kind of have to agree with Sir Ism that if you can't, like, let's say you coming from the Bible, so you say you can come from. He's saying it's based on his feelings, his own personal feelings. So it is kind of like a female.
Well, no, but
you know the interesting thing about Nightish made me reset my whole show today because I was gonna cover a conversation Nightish and I had. And that nigga took that shit down because he probably know he was looking crazy. He know he was looking crazy because just now, Nightish is going to accuse Homeboy of thinking with his feelings, which is being like a female. Later on this same like this show, Nightish went on live right after this live stream. And so Nightish and I had a conversation, like following up on this whole thing about the idea of manhood being under attack. And Nightish says, well, it's not real because I don't acknowledge it. Which is literally a feelings-based position. But anyway, nigga logic.
Bro. The reason why I wanted to
I know why you took that stream down, Nightish.
Make it more than just calling him a female. Because among you and I, that'll satisfy it all, right? But when we're having these conversations, and especially like the red pill manosphere type of guys, it's easy for guys like us to just get labeled as this and that. But when I ask you a simple question about what is your worldview built on, that's when it actually makes you look weak now, trying to sell me this thing that you don't know how to explain because you don't even understand yourself.
I understand myself that most of the shit that I stand on is based on the Bible. So the commandments, morality, and all that shit comes from the Bible. And I can say that, even though I'm not a so-called Christian, all of my shit come from the Bible and what I've learned throughout this time. So I can say that. But when you say you can't say that, then where is it coming from?
Yeah, most of my stuff don't come from the Bible, even though it might have some shit that align with the Bible. Most of my shit, how I live, is more from like nature. You know what I'm saying? That's like what the basis of Rastafari is supposed to even be on. So when I see something is going against nature, I'm automatically against it, and that is why I, you know what I'm saying? That's why I got wait a minute. That's why I got a lot of pushback from the alternative lifestyle. And Rastafari, a lot of Rastas do read the Bible and stuff like that, but Rastafari is not limited to the Bible. You could read, I done read almost all the religious book, the Bhagavad Gita, the Quran, like, you know what I'm saying? I fucks with most of them shit, you know what I mean?
So you got an outer view of the like some type of Bible, Quran, like you may not just do it every day and pray and read the Bible and just every day, but like the way you talk, since I watched you, you got kind of a outer shaping of.
I'm just saying it's not limited to that.
You talking about everybody a chance, but you still have some kind of doctrine that you live by, which is man, woman, children, some kind of higher being. You know what I'm saying? That's
right. But he's talking about he get his information from multiple different things.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Ain't nothing wrong with that. A lot of messages.
But let me ask Witch Doctor this, because when I hear people say this, so how do you feel about things that says in multiple things that it's a something that's a how do you say it? A fucking
Paradox.
abomination.
Okay, abomination. I would say in nature, most abominations respectfully die out.
But if you see an abomination, what would you do? Would you just let it die out, or would you have some kind of response to an
It
abomination?
depends. If the abomination was a direct threat to me or my life, or like if it's a direct threat to my nature, then I would have to eliminate it. But if it's not a direct threat, it's gonna eliminate by itself because it's not the nature of most abominations can procreate respectfully. If you look at a liger, if you look at a liger, them shits be sterile. You look at a horse mixed with a donkey, a ass, that shit is sterile.
Nature doesn't typically produce abominations. I think by definition, an abomination is something outside of nature. It's something almost man-made. Only man can make abominations. Nature just does what's natural. That's literally how that works, right?
They can't make babies because nature ain't meant to continue that shit. It was a hiccup, you know what I'm
I
saying?
agree with that. That's like a hiccup. But what will happen is a homosexual will try to impose his homosexual on a fucking heterosexual.
That's where I draw the line. I actually draw the line before then, but my line is drawn there too. You know what I'm saying?
Well, Nightish, this is why I'm going down this line of questioning, because Omega, let's take it back to you now. When we're bringing up when we're bringing up like why you ask what you ask, the reason why I attack it this way is because at its heart, liberalism is godless. And so for you to sell this godless position, I have to ask what it is that you actually do believe in. And what I'm coming to find out is that when it comes to liberalism, you believe whatever the invisible boss of liberalism tells you to believe in. And so, because like 12 years ago or 20 years ago, none of the liberals were pushing this hardcore transgenderism. And then somewhere along the way, the invisible king of liberals said, now you got to be transgender. And so now all the liberals are pushing transgenderism because none of you know what you actually believe in.
I got a question after you finish with that.
I just really to avoid the transgenderism because I'm not fully educated on transgenderism, but all I know. But at the same time, I feel like I could know what the question that you're trying to get at is. What do I subscribe to as far like what religion basically am I subscribed to? And which none of them. I'm just an atheist. I'm an atheist. So there.
Hates God, loves men booty. Why is that a common thing? Why does hating God and loving men booty go hand in hand for some reason?
I don't
Oh, yeah.
I don't fuck with none of that.
I mean, it is what it is.
It makes logical sense.
Can I ask my question before you go deep dive
and then I
jump
think
on American Magic?
Then I think Rakim got it after you.
How many men on the panel subscribe to menage a trois with 2 females and 1 male?
I don't fuck with it.
I have.
And notice this one dude with the country accent. He trying to use the gay women to soften the wall. No. Don't use the gay women to try to change the subject either. I'm on to you niggas.
If you're talking about threesomes, I fuck with threesomes, but I won't pull no train. You know what I mean?
I've done it before.
Okay. I didn't ask about the train because that's a different dynamic. Just you
even
and
when we
2
was young
females.
niggas, you know what
So
I'm saying?
I want to hear that shit.
I've been in threesomes.
Listen. Can I make a point? When I can make a point, as a younger man, all that stuff sounds great, but now that I understand more about the nature of life, I don't want to encourage women to be gay either.
I understand that. And what I would say to everybody, all threesomes ain't the most fun. I'm just letting you know like that. You know what I'm saying?
All I'm gonna say is it's a lot of fucking work.
If the women don't get along, that's gonna be a problem.
I don't know, big years.
Right. If they on some secret competition,
if your
shit is gonna
girl-
pull your shit up.
If you
Like that kind of stuff, but if you're asking me, do I promote it?
You and they're gonna be like, oh man, ooh, a penis, and they're gonna want to suck you off and all this other stuff and all that other stuff.
I don't think nobody's. I don't think nobody's.
You know, Here's the problem, Omega. Here's the problem. You
ass like right like
no. You're in the position of trying to normalize homosexuality.
Let's hear where that came from.
Right. Let him go.
And as far as normalizing it, just go as far as like that doesn't mean that like hey like if that like not only that but like you can still not have that idea and just accept hey if your friend is like let's say you're chilling with a friend you find out he's gay right like don't but at the same time
we're not friends anymore. Oh, we're not friends anymore. Am I bad?
Look at this. The thing about it, let me.
I would have loved to get an answer to that question right away. If your quote unquote friend comes out as gay, and I say, yeah, we really just can't be friends anymore. Is that wrong? Does that make you a bad person? Are you a bad black man? Because you can't maintain the same level of friendship with a guy now that you find out he's now openly gay. I'm saying it just changes everything.
It around this person, and as far you have everything else in common. You guys have a great time, have great stories, blah blah blah. But then you just I
can't hang out with you no more. But now I can't hang out with you no more.
We gotta let him land because I
let him land first.
But I actually want to give him a chance to land before I chime in.
Yeah, like let's say you have a great time, like you enjoy whatever fucking hobbies. Let's say you enjoy the same sports.
I feel like this is the guy Obama was talking about when he says young black men need some kind of gay mentor in their life so that they'll, grow up right, whatever that means, so they'll be better. This guy in the top right corner, I feel like that's the guy Obama was talking about.
You enjoy the same music. You
Omega Magic.
Everything else you guys agree on are aligned with. You have a great kick-ass time with. But then he just says, hey, I'm gay. And then you're like, what? No, fuck you, man. Get out. And it's like, no.
Nah, it's not going to be like that, Omega. But Omega.
Just because he came out as gay doesn't mean he's saying he's gay. He wants to fuck your ass. He's just saying, yo, I'm just
bro, whoa.
Well, why else did he come out and tell me this shit? Like, I mean, like, I could have really went on the rest of my life not knowing that. But now that you said that, I have to start doing other equations. I have to start inputting other variables into the algorithm now.
Whoa. Okay, you leaving out. As fellas, how do we bond with each other? What be the top 3 things that we talk about, my nigga? Keep it above.
Everything else that, like I said, everything else. Like, let's say you guys
wait a minute. So you're gonna tell me that as fellas, women is not in the top 3 things that we talk about. If I figure out, if we top it up, and I figure out that you on the rainbow side of the fence, look, I could do business with you and associate, but as far as friends and we chopping it up and we comfortable, come on, bro.
But that's exactly what I'm saying. We do business together, you chop it up. You have all
money. We don't want to talk about you Sweetwater sugar booty, nigga.
But now we're not going to be able to relate. And this is why this is a subconscious thing within men that we can't relate. Because think about this, as men, bro, we know when we see a chick with a fat ass, we be checking them out.
Not only can we not relate, there's something psychological that happens, right? Think about great R&B songs, right? Tevin Campbell, Can We Talk? The very nature of the song changes when you realize that Tevin Campbell is a gay man. So in all actuality, Tevin is saying, can we talk to another dude? How does one dude sing to another dude? Can we talk for a minute?
How do it equivalate?
It just don't work. And so psychologically, it literally shatters the reality that you were living in.
Be attracted to them sexually. Now, if you got a dude around that's potentially attracted to you sexually as a man, that's gonna make you feel uncomfortable, bro. Straight the fuck up, bro.
That's why you
know what? I'm gonna
listening.
If you see while you're chilling with a gay man,
order. No,
wait a minute. Why are you chilling with a gay man?
What are you talking about?
Omega, what do you do on Fridays and Saturdays, bro? Niggas need to check your hard drive now.
That's literally why. That's why you don't do that, Omega. That's why straight guys don't do that. So we avoid all the discomfort.
But so because you have you're like cool with this guy, and you have as far as whatever makes you cool with this guy, he has you guys have all these things in common.
Omega,
the same team.
No, bro.
All that thing.
Omega.
Hold on, man. Y'all
not gonna be able to talk about
Wait. Can I say something really quick? Can I say something?
Let's try to let the man land, please. I know that we all want to talk, but god damn.
I know, bro. It's sad. Okay, you can have the same interest.
You know what's so frustrating? I need you to understand something, right? This nigga Omega Magic, unknowingly, and this is what makes the Obama thing so interesting too. We're gonna play the Obama clip in a minute. Omega is basically the Democrat Party. And as a Democrat, he really can't understand why he can't get regular guys to follow along with his program. And the thing is, a lot of the stuff in your program, a lot of these guys are dumb enough to follow along with, but they're just not going to be gay with you. And the Democrats are just having this, it's like the unstoppable force and the immovable object. Like you've gotten to the point where all the gay and the gay adjacent people are already aligned with you. And the rest of the guys, they just aren't going. This is as far as you're going to get with all the gay agenda stuff. And now you're like, well, why can't all the other guys are gay? How come all the other boys are doing gay stuff and you guys just refuse? And these guys are like, I just can't do it. I don't know. See, the way my body is constructed, it won't allow me to do that. I can't bend my knee. And so now this guy Omega, just like the DNC, they're frustrated and they're wondering what's wrong with these men. Why can't they get just a little gayer for me?
You guys could, like Spain sports team, you guys could go hunting together, all this other shit, right? Like you have a million things.
Alone in the woods together now. You see what I mean, man? None of these scenarios.
This shit crazy, man. It's like y'all. I understand that your mind is closed. That like let the man just stop talking, and then somebody jump in. Y'all.
Let me just say this here. The thing is, we gotta let them. Wait a minute, Omega. You're gonna get the mic uninterrupted. We gotta let the man land because he even talking fast because he think he's not gonna get all his words out, bro. Just because y'all just trying to hung, bro. Let the man land, and then we could, because I think we could actually get through to bro. Because I think I see him cracking on the pressure now.
What do you mean get through to bro? Stop trying to get through to people. Just put people on display. Let them be great and let everybody see them in all their glory. Trying to change people. Everybody on the panel be trying to fix people. What's wrong with niggas?
I think he's getting through to him. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead, Omega.
I'm just saying because this guy that you're chilling with, you have have a million things in common, right? You can just name off the top of your head. Hey, I have a million things in common with this guy. We have great stories together, or whatever. But then the moment that, and you guys could be cool for, I don't know, let's say 6 months to a year, or maybe a couple of years or whatever, right? But you're telling me that like you're gonna kill all of that all because of the fact that he just says, "Hey, I'm gay," without.
He's been lying though, Omega. Right. He's literally been masquerading for a year as a bro.
And look at this, Omega. It don't mean you gotta cut him off, but the nature of how y'all. Wait a minute. No, we're not saying that. We're saying the nature of how fellas bond. We can't bond like that if we on two different sides of sexuality. If a man is heterosexual, he's not gonna be able to bond in the same way. Because we boys, we chopping it up, we talking about women, we come on, bro. The conversation is gonna get weird if a man is trying to tell me about another man the way I would tell him about a woman. I'll be uncomfortable, bro.
But
all gay men don't think like that. All gay men don't even think that way.
Hold on, DJ. You just said that you wanted to do business. You're still, hold on. I'm gonna respond to DJ. You
got it
just
after him, man.
Okay, you just admit that you just said that you could do business with the gay man or whatever, right? What now knowing that he's gay. So like, so I'm saying that, but now you're saying that like you can't do
doing business is different.
Them niggas make great coffee, bro.
Business is different from pleasure. Business is different
Let me say this. Let me say this.
When you hear somebody turn your blinker off in your car, whoever that is.
Hey, let me say this right here. Omega, let me ask you a question, Omega. If you had somebody you was generally just cool with, it's your boy, y'all got almost everything in common, and you find out that he have an appetite for 8-year-olds, are you gonna continue to hang out with him?
Oh my God.
Shit, it's a whole different fucking conversation.
It's uncomfortable, and nobody else could. It was too many niggas on the panel for this idea to really get fleshed out. But all your pioneers of gender theory, all the great thinkers of gender theory are literally pederasts. They have done horrible things to very young children and wrote about it in a scientific journal.
Are you gonna continue to hang out with him, Omega?
No, not with the guy with 8-year-olds, because that's totally different from an
okay. Then and that's how some people feel, Omega. I'm just using that as a parallel. That's how some
that's wild, bro. That's wild, man.
That's feelings again. That's feel. Omega, let me ask you this.
That is a totally unfair parallel as far as.
Yeah, let me ask you this thing.
No, it's not.
No, what if you got it? What if this is a less extreme parallel, right? What if you kicking it with somebody the whole time, but then you realize they got a drug addiction problem? Would you and them kick it on the same level?
Him have a drug addiction problem?
Yeah, they selling the whole crib out. They flat screen. They so fucked up that they selling shit in the crib for drugs.
That's a good parallel. Actually, it's a good parallel.
You
and them not having the same lifestyle. Y'all don't got the same enjoyment. How is y'all bonding now? Because, bro, I just want to go back to this thing.
Would be,
you're not going back over there because that's not your lane, nephew.
It is.
Honestly, to be fair, I have chilled with people, but like,
but if they selling drugs out the house, you're not going back over there.
So hold on. I think we're going the wrong direction. There's all this confusion. Just come on out and say you mess with gay niggas. Just say that. Fuck.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to be that guy, but I mean, sometimes you got to be that guy.
That nigga gay.
Let me share something with you guys. Let's take a look around the internet here. I'm pretty sure this is the guy. That's your boy. Ducky's a wrestling fan. Same guy? Same? That him? That's him, right? That is him. This is the Omega Magic channel. I'm pretty sure that's him. That's your boy right there. What happened to that boy? Hey Albert. That I'm just saying that looks like him. That looks like him. Let me see. There's his channel here. I think that's his channel here. Niggas be looking strange on the internet. It's the wrong place to look strange, bro. The internet never forgets. So yeah, that's the boy. And of course, he's into white supremacy. Gays love white supremacy.
Person, he Bible. So I mean,
my apologies.
It's all good because the week of her first week, and I was like, okay, I guess she
definitely him.
She's I guess she might be able to do it if whatever, anything better than Trump. But yeah.
So anyway, yeah, that's him.
I mean, you ain't gotta
answer like that.
You ain't gotta answer. You gotta feel ashamed to answer.
You gotta do that. You gotta be ashamed if you want to hang with gay
I'm
people.
not ashamed at all.
Because I hang with lesbians. I found out some of my friends was gay. I ain't have no problem with it, long as they ain't try me.
But he got a shirt that says boobs, and every time Nightish is up here, he comes up here because he Nightish boobs. Nightish is a secret BBW.
Look how he throwing you in there.
What's wrong with you?
So
what's wrong with y'all? You niggas are crazy.
Why he just called Nightish a secret BBW? You niggas is disgusting, bro. How you call that nigga a secret BBW? What the hell is even going on with these niggas, man? Man, I tell you. Secret BBWs now.
This nigga hate everybody, but why you hate everybody? God damn.
Respectfully, I want Sir Ism to be able to rock out. I want to let it
every time Nightish is up
You know
here,
what? No,
he
no,
likes
I
your
see.
boobs.
From this panel, I understand why having female friends or having women around is important, right? Because from talking with women, it helped me to understand you can't force communicate, bro. Because a lot of y'all is gonna lose younger people, lose your kids because you can't force this shit on people. You gotta communicate with somebody on a back and forth to where they comfortable just like you, bro.
Black women is the problem. Y'all keep letting these gay niggas do your hair and have your sons,
bro, like,
and
I
then
ain't
your
gonna hold
sons
you,
be
bro.
gay.
A lot of times we think, a lot of times as men, wait a minute, y'all. A lot of times as men, I think headbutting a nigga is gonna solve this shit. And it's
Hell
like,
yeah,
no, bro.
headbutt that nigga.
I hear
Fuck
ya.
yeah.
I hear
It's
ya.
not.
I
It's not.
just want you to know. I just
No,
want you
it's
to know.
not.
I've
No,
seen
it's
a lot of people lose
wrong.
their kids. I've seen a lot of people lose their kids because of ineffective communication.
Well, elbow that nigga. Hulk smash. Fuck that.
Nah.
Y'all can't force somebody to do what you want. Most of the time when y'all do that, y'all gonna push
If
them
nigga was
to
my
what you
son, I
don't
would have
want them to do.
elbowed that nigga and made him back regular. You are a boy.
That kills me. Too many people want to police what other people do in the bedroom. My stance on it is don't promote it. Like, don't promote it at all.
That's the only thing I was going to say.
Well, hold on. By
Wait a minute,
voting,
yo. Can we at least let each other fucking land, bro? Y'all literally wait till people start talking, bro. What the fuck type shit is that, my nigga?
Exactly.
Go ahead, man.
For me, I don't care what you do in your bedroom. I'm not going to question it. I don't care if you do it with men and men and girl. I've never discussed what other people do in the bedroom. What you do in the bedroom is your prerogative. Just don't promote it to my kids. Don't promote any of that stuff because I'm not even promoting that to my kids. Now, if my kids turn around and they become homosexual, they just become homosexual. Get your jokes up because my family is a joking family. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to stop loving my kids because they decided to do something that they want to do. But I still don't want to know about your nature, what you like sexually. I don't care about that. That has nothing to do with me. It has nothing to do with what I'm doing in the bedroom.
Put earmuffs on.
I think this. You started out with sort of attacking the other people's position as if we're somehow bad people. But the problem is, if you say you don't want it promoted, then you have to take the stance that people like us take, because by voting for a gay person to hold office, by being tolerant of the gay teacher, then you're promoting it by default. And so what winds up happening is you have these people in visible positions. These people are comfortable being their best selves, and by waving the flag, it attracts more people to the cause. And so now what you get is you have to defend it. We're at the point of not even promoting it, but defending it, because you've been promoting it by default for so long. So you, by accepting it tacitly, have no authority to say now, oh, well, I don't want to promote it. You've been promoting it.
Who up here did that?
Ain't nobody did. This is all in these motherfuckers' head. And respectfully, hood conservative, you want people to not promote something that we ain't got no problem with not promoting it, but the whole point of them not being themselves is a fucking issue. Like, for them to be what you want them to be, they got to be less than what they want to be.
That's you promoting it. By accepting that, it's promoting it. And then it grows. And the next thing you know, they want your kid to sit on their lap while they read them bedtime stories. And you have to be okay with it, because now you're a bad ally.
Why do I have to accept it?
I didn't say for you to accept them.
Well, I'm trying to wonder
who are you to sit there and tell them not to be how they want to.
I didn't tell anybody to do anything. But I'm saying though, the position is that Black America, Black men are homophobic. Therefore, there's something wrong with us. So my point is, why am I the bad guy? Oh, let me ask the question out. Let me ask the question in total. Why am I the bad guy when you're the one breaking every historical norm?
Well, I don't give a damn about his story. If we care about the history, nigga, we still be locked up in chains and shit like that.
So we have to be gay because slavery. You see?
Well, we have to be gay because slavery. When you keep digging, when you keep pushing, when you force them to really stand on something concrete, it's always because of the white man. It's always because of slavery.
You want me on that wall. You need me on that wall.
These blacks.
No. You see what you just did? You see what you just did, bro? Because slavery, we have to be gay. That's literally the liberal position.
I ain't got to be no damn gay. I'm straight as an Arab, but I'm not gonna sit there and just because my position being straight is like, hey, everybody else gotta be straight. Are you fucking wrong?
I got a question.
That ain't me. I'm not in your bedroom. I don't give a damn.
If you brothers had a son and he turned out Sweetwater, would you feel like you let him down?
Yeah, I would feel like that.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit, but at the end of the day,
I would be way more disappointed.
That's different. I wouldn't have liked it, y'all, no more. I like that answer.
I would have feel more. I would feel way more disappointment.
I don't think it's for what the reasons that everybody is for.
I would feel more disappointed in my son than my daughter, and this is just me being truthful. Like I would and I won't want none of my kids to be like that, but I would more I would feel less disappointed with my daughter than my son. Like it's just
somebody asked me that question the other day, Witch Doctor. Would you want a horrible daughter or a gay son? And that fucked me up because I damn sure don't want a gay son.
Your thought daughter can at least have kids. And if she's really a thought, the kids might wind up with you if you're lucky. Then you can make them all right. Maybe you can fix the kids, but your gay son's not gonna be bringing home any kids, man. It's not the same thing.
Yeah, I won't want my daughter to be a hoe.
I got a daughter right now.
I have kids too, and like I would not like it if my son was gay, but at the same time, I mean, I still want to be in my son's life because that's my seed.
No, I love my son no matter what, but I don't want him to be gay because him being gay ends my legacy. But my a whore.
Will you feel like you let him down or you did something wrong as a father?
Yes, I already answered.
Hey, can I say something? Can I say something really quick?
Like maybe you feel like maybe I could have did something better.
I feel like I let him down if my son grew up to be the lazy pookie in the hood that's just going couch to couch.
All right, okay.
You know
okay,
it's fucked up,
okay.
Omega, and
okay.
you got it after this. But you know it's fucked up, Omega. I would prefer my son to be a Pookie, bro. Like I ain't
Yeah,
even
I would
bro.
too. Because even Pookie gets to have more babies. I'm gonna have some grandbabies. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like I
And even
come
Go
on,
ahead, E.
man.
no, you got it, you got it, you got it, you got it, bro. You got it, bro. I didn't want to cut you off. You got it.
What it really comes down to, man, is that I don't have anything against homosexual people. Anything, I think they should be able to live their life. But one thing that you said earlier, Omega, when you was like, you know, because we was enslaved and different things like that, we should understand. Those are two things that you can't compare. You can't compare.
No, I said that. I said that.
You
He
said-
ain't say that.
No, he said it a
But I
little
agree
earlier.
with
He was
that.
talking
Okay.
about it. He was talking about it.
Yeah, the
But-
only way that relates to 18th letter is that we don't believe. See, when people do that slave shit, we don't believe in oppressing other people. I'm not somebody that want to hurt homosexuals or stop them from whatever else, but I don't feel I gotta support it.
We don't have to support at night, but it is
I
kind of
agree with you,
oppressive to tell them to go their ass in that closet. That's
No,
oppressive.
I'm not telling you to go
nobody
nowhere.
said
What I'm
No, I
saying
think-
is that
I think straight. Wait a
question.
minute. I think straight people should go in the closet too. I think everybody should keep their business in the closet.
yeah.
And,
I don't want to,
and
I don't
don't
have
share
to-
that shit with everybody.
even though I love my wife ass, I don't gotta grab her ass in public.
Look
I
at
don't
this.
want to
Look
see
at
none of
this.
you.
Look at this. Homosexuality mixed with the over-sexualized world that we live.
Shout out to Winthrop. He says, hood in the trenches, talking politics with words like did it, flying towards you. I like the trenches, bro. I don't know. I can't avoid the trenches, man. The trenches be calling me. This is where a lot of really, really amazing statements get thrown around, bro. You got to really be in the trenches to hear the stupidity. It's like raw and pure. It's distilled, you know?
Living in,
Yeah.
it will have niggas around here skipping around looking crazy, bro.
Why does the gay community want to promote sexuality and vice in public, but the straight community does not?
They actually do. They do.
I think the straight community been promoting sexuality.
Hold on. I'm gonna contest that. Like,
Omega, what do you mean? Who actually do what?
Hold on. I'll explain. You ever see a Disney movie where the prince gets the chick and they like make out or whatever?
He literally is calling Disney Vice now. Now, in my mind, I'm thinking of like, you know, all the parade stuff that happens, and he's thinking of a Disney movie as straight people Vice.
You ever see like two kids? And let's say you at a barbecue and you see like two kids just playing tag together. They'll be like, "Oh, they're gonna grow up to be married," or what the fuck ever.
But
Like,
that is normal. That is normal.
Well, but you're pushing it still.
Wait. Where is the straight people equivalent to transgender story hour or this transgender parades in public where they're literally twerking in front of children, they're performing sex acts in front of children? The whole point of the display is to be publicly visible so people can bring their children. Where's the straight version of that?
No, hood servitude.
No, straight people aren't doing that. There's no strip club. There's no strip club you're allowed to bring your kids to.
There is. Like I said, in Disney movies that your kids watch where the prince wants to bang the princess and there's like a heavy makeout like this.
So Omega, I hear what you're saying right there. What is the problem with What is the problem with traditionalism?
There's no problem with that. I have no problem with that. But I'm saying just don't. I'm not saying like my whole premise.
I don't think that what I'm saying is I don't think that traditionalism is imposing anything on anybody.
Yeah.
But when you have to have let me ask you this: what is a heterosexual parade?
It's the same thing as no White History Month.
No. Wait a minute, Big Iz. Where is a heterosexual parade?
You think a parade? Okay, so
you don't need one.
Okay, you think a parade is like? You think when they promote like a gay pride parade, they're like, "Hey, they're having flyers in like in playgrounds."
Yeah,
saying, "Hey, kids, come to the parade."
I don't want to listen. I like to be consistent. I don't want to jump all over the place. Where is a heterosexual parade at? Has it ever existed?
Look what you know. What if you wanted to throw a heterosexual parade? Go do it.
Well, what would it be? What would it be?
Omega, I told you, man.
I don't know.
I literally said.
Right.
I literally gave you the sample.
Big is. Give me 1 second. I'm not gonna be long-winded. I'm gonna shut the fuck up right after this. We know what a gay pride parade is. What does a heterosexual parade? Gay pride is I'm finna be outside almost completely naked, jumping around. What is the heterosexual parade?
There isn't one because
right,
one, but
right.
Then it's more over. Okay, so how is a parade that happened somewhere in Eonville that promise you that no one really knows where the exact location is at, promoting, forcing their beliefs onto you? It's just people throwing a parade. It's just
I don't. But that's what I'm saying to you, Omega. When I see a man and woman holding hands, I don't think they imposing that on you. When I see a man and woman kissing, I don't think they imposing that on you. When I see a man and a woman doing whatever all this has been done through time immemorial, they're not imposing that on you. But somebody wants to say, no, let me shine, let me stand out. For what?
Okay, so you're telling me like the gay pride. I don't know what town you live in, right? But let's say if a gay pride parade, gay pride parade is happening in your town, you're telling me that's going to be like the major news story, like, hey, everybody, go see this pride parade. Yes. They're like,
but that's my point to you, brother. That's I live in Oakland.
We live in the Bay
I live right across the bridge from San Francisco. What I'm saying to you is,
damn, they on the West Coast. They literally in the swamp. Ew, it's sticky over there.
And I'm in Seattle. And I've been in Seattle, and that's like heavily that is never.
And y'all ain't nothing but a knockoff San Francisco. They plastered the gay rights all over the news on the West Coast. We're known for it. Okay, this is the Bay Area. They're some of the first people to get the laws, amendments, and things to pass for the gay rights. But I always thought sometimes they be doing too much, having the kids out there. Let the kids be innocent and let them make a choice. They be having 7-year-old, 9-year-old kids out there, men in wigs, and it's too much, bruh.
I mean,
I think it's
Omega.
too much.
Omega, they want you to. Omega, they want you to drop your Omega, they want you to drop your page in the chat, and anybody up here that do content, you could drop your page in the chat too. I think Narrative and Dialogue say you want to interview you, right? I want to ask you this question though. What are the benefits, right, to humanity for promoting homosexuality?
Yes.
Well, it's not about it's not really about promoting. Well, it's more with promote. Okay.
All right, let me take that back. Let me.
Why is it so confusing for him? Like, why does your brain stop working when we ask you to just be logical and normal for a minute?
Let me rephrase the question. What is the benefits of wait a minute? What is the benefits of normalizing homosexuality for humanity?
Because at the end of the day, we're all human beings, and the only difference is between me as a heterosexual man and the gay man, they just fuck differently. That's it.
So there's no benefits of promoting it.
I mean, there is benefits. I mean, we're all humans, right? And we, at the end of the day,
can you put that in the chat?
But look at this. We are humans. Even a school deleter is humans. Even a PDF is a human. Even a bestiality nigga is a human. So why don't we just promote all of that shit and say fuck it?
Because everything as far as the pedophilia and I forgot what the other things you said.
Bestiality, school deleters, and PDFs. I think all the motherfuckers be
the difference is like, hold on. I gotta answer your question with another question because right? But what harm? What harm does two men having sex does to anybody else at all whatsoever?
It stops humanity.
But wait a minute, what harm does a lot of things have? Why do you gotta promote it? Just because it's harm?
Okay, my point.
In your eyes, if it's harmless, just because, so we should promote everything that's harmless?
No, well,
If you
pedophilia does actual harm as opposed to homosexuality. It's just two men fucking minding their own business, fucking.
I would. Why does it gotta be promoted? Why does it gotta be promoted and normalized? If they feel that it's normal, why do they gotta make other people feel as you already think it's normal? Go and do your thing. Why you gotta share with everybody else?
Because they know it's abnormal. Because
That's
they know
a
it's
fact.
abnormal.
Let me ask Omega this, since he made that statement. If you are that, that's okay. Privately do whatever you want to do. But why don't you understand that it's an abomination?
An abomination.
Can you produce life from that act?
Can you produce from life? Okay, well, okay, you're speaking from a
You know, it's Omega. You look like you was in the church.
Not a religion. I'm not talking from a religious place. I'm
But
talking about this.
where did you get that position? Where did you get that position from? I mean,
I know that if two men bang, ain't no baby gonna come out of it.
Okay.
It's not a religion.
You know your family.
Okay, well, let me ask you, here's a better question. Do you, when you fuck every chick, right? Is your whole purpose when you fuck every chick is to have a baby?
Not everyone, but I know that having it, it's a possibility of that happening.
Possibility.
It's always a possibility of that happening. One second.
I'm gonna ask you a fun question. I'm gonna ask you a point.
Let's have a conversation.
Okay.
That's how you have
this hell.
All right, I have a very interesting question to ask you then. What is your purpose of having sex? Typically, since you're
a lot of us are hedonistic and carnalistic. We just want pleasure. But you have some people in life that believe in the reason for having sex in the first place is to reproduce. And some of those people believe it shouldn't be about your carnalistic or hedonistic views. It should be just about procreation, because your purpose in life, based on if you're a more a religious person, is to reproduce life.
I can actually answer that without making it a religious argument. Here's the thing. Theoretically, the orgasm and all the associated feelings of the orgasm they evolved over time to bond the male to the female and bond the female to the male, so that they would cleave together for the purpose of the offspring and all the future development that entails, right? And so you need not open the Bible to point out that homosexuality is literally the anti-life equation. And what you want me to do is accept homosexuality as equally valid as heterosexuality, when heterosexuality is the only life equation there is.
But hood conservative, away from reproducing, I just like being
And Omega, drop your channel.
See, eat, sleep, fight, bust, man. You can't talk Nietzsche to the eat, sleep, fight, bust crowd. It doesn't land as hard as you would like, because then they just got to eat, sleep, fight, bust. You know, Nietzsche is for other people to think about.
I do think. You say what?
I am trying to drop her channel, but hold on. Give me a sec. But okay, keep going.
Yeah, just I'll snatch it up. But
I think people use sex as a way to bond with each other. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times I want us to answer this shit outside of religion. I know we all got our religious beliefs.
I'm not
religious. Everybody don't subscribe to the same religion. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not religious. I just like being around women. Even if I don't have sex with them, just being around them. Smelling them, looking at them, everything about them. It don't got nothing. Even if I can't,
9 years before you touch one, so that kind of makes sense.
Even if I can't fuck, I just like being around women. Even when I was a young boy.
Nightish is like the rare old nigga. He getting into his old nasty nigga phase, He at the point in his life where he just don't care no more. I'm gonna simp hard. I'm gonna do whatever I gotta do to get close to the box again. One last try before I leave it all behind. This nigga be trying his best to get the box to look at him.
I ain't gonna hold you, Nightish. I'm the same way. I prefer to kick it with a bunch of women than just kick it with niggas all the time, bro. That shit is
yeah. Even when I was young, wait, 1 second before you go into your thing. Even when I was a young guy, my sister's 7 years older than me. Her girlfriends and shit used to like braid my hair. I just like being around them.
You was one of the girls. We understand.
I mean, I like being around women too. I mean, they smell good, you know what I'm saying? And if you're lucky enough with a good amount of game, you can hit it and quit it.
It's not luck. It's not luck, bro.
Bro, I can never be upset.
You gotta acknowledge you gotta acknowledge the fact that that's how just gay men feel. That's their shit.
But it's not luck to be with a woman, Omega.
But let me say this: I can never be upset.
She's lucky to be with you, man. Don't say the woman's lucky. She's lucky to be around you.
No, but I want to say this though, because I know it's a midget up here, and I can never be upset when a midget is talking.
We know it's an overweight, oversized mumpy.
Whenever I see a
anyway, these niggas about to start niggering again. Let me fall back from that. Let's talk about Obama and his wife and them.
Wait, you guys like each other?
Oh yeah, really? Huh?
That's so
the
nice,
rumor mill. It's my husband, y'all.
She sent me back.
Now don't start.
I can't.
It was touch and go for a while.
It's so nice to have you both in the same room
I
together.
know, because when we aren't, folks think we're divorced.
Let me tell you first.
This is like the most awkward married couple conversation. I can't imagine y'all know each other for the last 30 years. It's weird.
See, I'm in Wichita, Kansas for Austin's tournament. And this podcast has made me quite popular.
You're big
famous.
And people come up to me all the time. This woman came up to me and she was so nice. She was like, "Can I have a picture?" Yeah. And then, so you know how you get the side hug, and she's like, "What did he do?"
And you knew she was gonna say, "What did
he?" And I was like,
it wasn't like what happened to him.
That is so
It was like,
terrible.
how'd he mess up?
How'd he mess up? And I said, "Well, what makes you think he messed up? Why couldn't it
Well,
been
why
her?"
did you just say no one messed up?
Well, because I wanted to keep this conversation going so that I could tell you about it.
Oh Lord!
I was like, what? And she's like, "He did something, didn't he?"
There's this weird energy I noticed in a lot of comedy, and not even just like scripted comedy, but the way, like, especially married men in public life, there's always this joking about not upsetting my wife. There's always this weird comedic acknowledgement that I have to cuck all of my masculine male urges and intentions because it might make my wife upset, and then I have to deal with that. And so you never, ever, ever hear women in public say, "I don't do this because it'll make my husband upset." Women take the opposite route. Women be like, "Hey, I know it pissed him off, but I did it anyway." Girl power.
I was like, don't worry, everything's fine. And let me tell you, she was so happy, you would have thought I gave her a Christmas gift.
These are the kinds of things that I just miss, right? So I don't even know this stuff's going on.
Right.
And then somebody will mention it to me, and I'm all like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
There hasn't been one moment in our marriage where I thought about quitting my man. And we've had some really hard times, but we have had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay.
Whoa, that is the first time I heard Michelle Obama say anything directly positive about her husband. and God knows how long, but since she's been doing this podcast, you get a lot of clips of her talking sideways about Obama. This is the first time I ever heard her big the man up.
Don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show.
And he gonna cry like a bitch. God damn, you see how starved for affection he is? First time she said anything nice in like probably 35 years.
Really hard times. So we had a lot of fun times, a lot of adventures, and I have become a better person because of the man I'm married to.
Okay, don't make me cry now. Right at the beginning of the show.
Oh, that's sweet.
Don't let me start tearing up now.
And welcome to IMO.
Welcome to IMO.
Why does Obama have his legs crossed and Michelle's letting her balls? She's literally man-spreading on the chair right now. Look at that. She's got her hands between her legs. Like she got room. She got like some crotch room there. Got a little bit of crotch room. But Obama's got his legs crossed, though. It's an interesting dynamic we got going on here, man. It's just, just taking a look at stuff, man. Just taking a look at it.
Get you all teared up. See, but this is why I can't talk. See, you can take the hard stuff, but when I start talking about the sweet stuff, you're like, stop. No, I can't do it.
I love it. I'm enjoying it.
But thank you, honey, for being on our show. Thanks for making the time. We got, as
you guys
Craig
are doing
said, we
good.
got a great
Of course, I've been listening.
Yeah. What? Any
Love it.
tips? Any
observations? Craig can tighten up a little bit. You're doing great.
Right. Not gonna say anything about my wife. Anyway. A few moments later.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
Mm-hmm. One dad.
No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah.
Notice the Obamas don't have sons. Obama never raised a son himself. And then he also has like a strained relationship with his own father. He was literally like raised by some dude her mom started banging after her dad stopped banging her. After his dad stopped banging her, rather. And so Obama has issues with the purity of the father-son relationship, I would imagine.
Right? Yeah. One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was I had a gay professor in college at a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant.
Got bullied by his gay professor, and he's been cucked ever since. He was already pre-cucked. That's really what happened. He was pre-cucked. His mama made sure of that.
College. At a time when openly gay folks still weren't out of line, who became one of my favorite professors and was a great guy and would call me out when I started saying stuff that was ignorant. You need that. To show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's
not only, this is the killer of it, right? Because it was a layered piece of advice, right? Not only was it you need gays raising boys, right? They just need the gay influence while you're raising a son. But also as an adult, as a dude, you just need a gay friend because they're just dope like that. Why are black people Democrats anyway? I mean, right, why are black men Democrats? I know why black women do it. I don't know why the rest of you niggas do it.
To show empathy and kindness. And by the way, you need that person in your friend group so that if you then have a boy who's gay or non-binary or what have you, they have somebody that they can go, okay, I'm not alone in this.
But that's kind of the point. When you're outside of the norm, then you're kind of alone in that. It is what it is. And of course, The Root had to get in on this. Black men rip Obama for saying black boys need gay men in their lives. Let's play some of these videos The Root pulled up.
And that's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
You know what? Skip that. Let's skip that. Let's go here.
To all of y'all that was like, Obama, my first black president, my first black president, my first black president. Got y'all asses fucked up, huh? So y'all know he went on that podcast and said that all these boys need gay men around them now because gay men provide empathy. Y'all was so gung-ho on having the first black so-called president that y'all missed the whole damn agenda to begin with. His whole agenda was to push the gay agenda, and he succeeded in doing that. So now y'all mad because this motherfucker done doubled down with it on a podcast show and said that you lack empathy, so therefore you need to be replaced by a gay man to show your damn child empathy? Y'all gotta be kidding me. To all of y'all that was like, Obama, my first black president,
Obama said, what? Huh? Nah, see, now I got to call my mom and pops, man. I've been trying to tell them folks about Obama, but they're going to have to hear me this time. Obama said boys need to have more exposure than just from their father. Their father can't be everything to them. They need to have a friend, a boy that swing the other way to teach them sympathy and empathy. Brother, I ain't never heard something as dumb as that a day in my life. Because you telling me I'm a father. So one, I'm all my son need from a father figure perspective. So telling fathers out here that your young boy, your son, need to have other dudes in his life to teach him stuff is crazy already.
Yeah, that's a wild one. You're gonna lose every father on that one alone. It's insanely disrespectful to tell a father that your son needs maybe another guy to help you father your son. Like, it's crazy disrespectful. It's like the one thing in life that you are tasked to sort of do on your own. Like, there's no other guy who has that role but of being the father that you are to your children. And for better or worse, you got to step up for the job, right? To tell some guy, hey, listen, maybe we should put you on the bench. Maybe we should sit this one out. We're gonna bring in the pitch hitter. You know, we got this guy from China. He does a great job for half the work. It's crazy work. It's crazy work.
That's one thing. Then you're going to jump over the mother. Because it's like, cool, I can't provide the empathy and sympathy. Let's just say. That's what your mama is for. How you going to jump over the mama and say, that's why you should have a friend that swing the other way to teach that to your son? Bro, Obama finna piss me off. He already did. Then he said, yeah, because you never know. Whenever you have a son one day, and if he turns out to swing the other way, now he got a role model for him. And now he got somebody, like, that's crazy, bro. I'm not going to hold you. I got to call my folks because that might be, nah. Like, having a two-parent household is already hard enough, right? Dudes having their fathers, boys having fathers in their life is already hard enough. Now you saying if you got a father, if they got a father, that's not good enough. Your dad can't be everything to you. You need to have a boy, a man in your life that swing the other way. That's crazy. Obama said, what? Huh? Nah.
Yo, what's up with the Democratic Party constantly pushing this agenda? It's like they really want to turn all these young men gay. Barack Obama just got on this podcast with his wife and her weird-ass brother talking about now young men need gay men in their lives. Out of anything he could have said, he said young men need gay men in their lives. Instead of saying you need to be an active father in these young men's lives, you said they need a gay man in their lives? Are you cool? I was raised in a two-parent household, a mother and a father. Both sides, I had uncles, and there were father figures as well. Then on top of that, I had an older brother tweaking and doing goofy shit. He came down to beat my fucking ass. That is what young men need in their lives. They need one father in their lives to teach them tough love, and they need the mother in their lives to teach them how to be sensitive. That's why a lot of these men out here that are raised with single moms are always doing this goofy ass shit. All they're being taught is being fucking sensitive when they need a fucking father in their lives to teach them, hey, you could be abrasive and you can have some sensitivity in you to actually talk about your emotions. I let these women tell you it's weak to express your emotions. Like, bro, that is why a lot of these young men are growing up with all these fucking anger issues, because they have a crazy ass mom telling them to bottle up everything they have in them. As a woman or as a gay man, you can't raise a fucking man to be a man. How the fuck is that gonna ever fucking work? You need a straight, strong, masculine man in the home, and you need a feminine woman in the home to teach your child how to be a normal fucking human being. This Democratic Party is destroying our young community, and they keep trying to do this weird ass shit. And anytime we say something about it, oh, we're homophobic, we're this, we're that. No, like, bro, that is fucking weird. All that shit is weird. Obama's weird, his wife's weird, and that weird ass brother. Like, bro, even their kids are not taking the Obama last name. When was the last time you ever seen Obama's kids with them? Like, come the fuck on, bro. These people are weird, bro. Yo.
The Democrats gonna have a big problem going forward with Black America between the immigration issue and all the cultural stuff. The Democrats are losing bad. Shout out to True Hype with the 5-ball. He says, I want to see how the older Black folks are going to deal with what Obama has said on this issue. You know, the ones with that family on their mantle. Yeah, Obama, he was Black Jesus like 10, 15 years ago, you know? He was basically Black Jesus, right? And then now he just this gay nigga that be on his podcast with his wife. Like, they fell hard. They really, really fell hard, though. It's crazy, man. It's crazy how time turns things around. Shout out to True Hype. Thanks for the 5-ball. Hit that like button, man. Throw $1.50 for
Give me the money for all that I would do. Give me the money.
One of the most valuable things I learned as a guy was in kindness. And by the way, you need that. It was corny, but
the melanin messiah himself, Barack Obama, just said for the most part that to be a good man,
see, look, the melanin messiah, I told you,
you probably need to have an LGBTQ friend. And remember, he's a Black Christian that's telling you that your sons should most likely have that kind of people around him. Think about it.
That's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be everything.
He can't be everything. And then that boy may need somebody to give the boy some perspective on the dad.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
Do the Obamas have sons? When did the Obamas become so proficient at raising Black sons to give advice like that? So she got a podcast and she's telling you with her husband how to raise sons. When did they become so professional at raising boys? Woke culture affirms foolishness. One dad is enough, bro. Especially in a community where fatherlessness is an issue. The Obamas and many others drift from honoring fathers to questioning Black fathers with the help of foolish groups. Think about it. Masculine straight men do not need gay men to teach young boys to be feminine. Toxic masculinity is always how identity politics fight against men with a rainbow coalition. Like, straight men has become a problem. So that's strange. Barack Obama is trying to say To raise wholesome men who are emotionally intelligent, you need some LGBTQ friends? The fuck? That's identity politics 101. Once you're indoctrinated, you get to becoming and thinking and seeing the world through feminist eyes, liberalism, metrosexual progressiveness, woke culture. You believe to be a good guy, you need openly gay friends? From people who can't even tell you what a woman is now trying to convince you that trans or gay is wise. And this isn't anti anything. This is for educational purposes so you can really wrap your brain around the concept. Identity politics is in certain people's blood, and they're going to give it to you in every way that they can, from parenting advice, marital advice, anything you can think about. And that doesn't mean it's true. Barack Obama, Michelle Obama, any of those entertainers, that don't make them just the wisest. They remind me of companions of fools. You can walk with a companion of fools and find yourself in the end in a fucked up situation. Get a balance, but don't get the balance necessarily that these fools are trying to teach you. Pay attention. Stay woke, I guess. I don't know. Or you got black fatigue, using the keywords, toxic masculinity. I don't know. All I know is pay attention and watch that interview yourself, and you'll see.
Let's talk about Barack Obama. Barack Obama stated in college he had a gay professor, and he and that gay professor had a good relationship. And Barack Obama stated that every little boy need a gay man to show kindness and empathy. I disagree with Barack Obama. I would agree if my son came up to me and said, "Mom, I'm gay," I would introduce him to a gay older man so he can guide him through life. Absolutely, I don't see anything wrong with it. But for me to introduce my son to a gay man when my son is not showing interest in being gay, it's totally wrong. And where do you come at, Barack Obama, trying to police people's life? You know, this is something that I stay off of. I don't talk about people's personal life in a sense of people's bedroom. I don't police people's bedroom and people's personal life. That's your preference. If you like men, you like women, that have nothing to do with me. I don't think I should butt my way into your life and be so nosy into your personal life. Everybody is human being. They choose the lifestyle they want to live. Barack Obama, is okay if you want to introduce your son to a gay man, but don't police other people if they refuse to introduce their sons or their daughters to gay men. It's a lot of people that have empathy and love that's not gay. So that's where I feel like you miss a lot of people at. Gay people are super fun. I love me a gay guy. I really do. But other people may not like that. And I can't impose my belief on other people. You know, Barack Obama, is certain things in life you just don't say. Less is more. The conversation was about friendship, building a family, building a foundation. What does a gay man has to do with foundation? I really don't know. That's something that I did not connect with. But a lot of people out here is offended by what you said and the way you went about it. I'm hoping that you can bring some kind of clarity to this, because we really don't understand where empathy and love come with gay people. Everyone should have empathy and kindness in their heart for every human being. We are all created with God love and likeness. So at the end of the day, we may have different shades of colors, but when we bleed blood. So at the end of the day, Barack Obama, you were wrong for trying to police people's bedroom and police people's fatherhood. Because at the end of the day, leave that to dads that raising gay sons and let them make that decision. But honestly, if I had a son or even a daughter that's coming up, I will introduce them to somebody that live in a lifestyle. I really don't see anything wrong with it. Let's talk about Barack.
She gonna make the kid even more gay. God damn it. God damn it. Somebody need to tag Ice in her TikTok.
Okay, as a 90s kid growing up, you saw all these dare programs that would promote anti-drugs, like don't smoke weed, otherwise you will spaz the fuck out, kind of like how Marlon Wayans did in that one episode in the Wayans Brothers, right? But then guess what? A lot of people did end up smoking weed due to the fact that around them did smoke weed.
But you're forgetting about all the pro-smoking movies, all the funny shit that we watch. Sure, it was commercials about not smoking weed because weed was illegal. They're not gonna have commercials about smoking it. Where do you promote illegal shit? In movie and music. That's where you promote drugs and all the illegal shit. You use movie and music. You can't put them in an actual commercial because it's against the law.
Everything that we watch on TV is set to influence you. That's why there's millions and millions of dollars that's invested in marketing. And it's groups of people that in business to see how can we advertise to this group? How can we advertise to that group? That's why a lot like we adapt to the ideas of what we see that is promoted, whether that be billboards, whether it be television, whether it's in magazines, whether it's on the internet. That is what that's what happens. So the idea that people can't be influenced by it. And like what I was just saying a minute ago, that situation, like I don't want to be watching a good show and it's entertaining and then something like that comes up. I just don't want to see that. And I don't think I'm alone on that. I think a lot.
You're not alone. And you know,
not just exposure to one guy.
Now, this podcast, I think it's Michelle Obama's podcast, super viral right now because Barack spoke on his love affair for gay rights. Barack Obama has always stood on business when it came to the rights of gay people. Barack Obama has stood on business to the point that even the media dubbed him as the first gay president. Never mind that he's the first black president. They dubbed him as the first gay president. That's how hard he was going in the paint for gay rights. Barack has always been looked at as a gay guy.
That's one of the things that I think a lot of times boys need is not just exposure to one guy.
One dad.
One dad. No matter how good the dad
is. He can't be
everything. He can't be everything.
Barack Obama has a love affair for male bonding. Or is it something more sinister? Let's see what Dr. Umar has to say.
One of the reasons Barack Obama was made president is so he could normalize the LGBTQ agenda in the black community. Think about it. If George Bush tried to push homosexuality in the black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
If Donald Trump tried to push homosexuality in the black community, we would have rejected him.
Of course.
You could only normalize that through a black
To a
face.
black man.
Obama was made president to make it normal. When Barack Obama became president, homosexuality was not a mainstream issue, nor was it accepted as a mainstream alternative to the traditional family.
Former president of these United States had the audacity to sit on Mr. Michelle Obama's podcast with her brother and say that all men need a gay man in their life to show them empathy. Not all men need a father in their life. Not all men need a mother in their life. Uncles, grandpas, all the other men that comes in and play when it comes to the raising of men and children. Not them. No, they need a gay man in their life. For him to have the audacity to sit on this podcast and promote the foolery that he's promoting is ridiculous.
The man has done more for the alphabet community than he's done for any Black community. And that's facts. He put himself on the line way more for the alphabet community than any other community. You understand what I'm saying? Every law, every provision that he put in place that was so-called for the so-called Black community benefited the alphabet community more than it benefited the Black community. I mean, what y'all think about this? I mean, have y'all heard this? I mean, and men, like this is my thing. First of all, look, I can't. I'm so annoyed with this. With this, like, I just want to smack him, like, for real.
Street bang.
Now I want to skip to this last part of the little conversation we had, because it turned into a religious conversation at that point. Let me share this with you guys too.
Right.
Y'all got it.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up heavily religious. You know, I go to my mom's house all the time, and I would hear the gospel channel or Family Feud, one of the two right about now. And at the same time, I did kind of break my mom's heart telling her I was atheist. And since then, a few years ago, I told I feel like we established without saying kind of a don't ask, don't tell thing, even though she kind of hints at telling me all the time, like let's examples of this is like if there's a big gathering like Thanksgiving and she's like, let's gather around and pray, and then she always volunteers me. I'm like, no, I don't want to pray. Like, don't volunteer me to lead the prayer. Or recently she gave me
my family wasn't super religious. I grew up with my dad, and I never seen this nigga go to church one time, right? But what I would say, most of my family members that was diehard Christians, like they didn't put up as super resistant with me, because I actually explained to them, because I always try to have some sort of justification. So when I start justifying it and why I wasn't following their religion and stuff like that, they didn't look at me crazy, because some of the stuff I said was making sense and shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they looked at me like I was crazy at first, but over time, my mom was like, okay, he's atheist. But at the same time, she always kind of like, I guess you could say, pull me back to her side. Like recently she tried to gift me as a chain, a golden chain cross necklace. It's an expensive one, but I was like, but honestly, I really couldn't accept it because, you know, it felt like, because at the same time, I felt, knowing me, I would feel like I would never wear it. I was still uncomfortable with it, so I respectfully was like, I can't take this box.
And that's why even though I'm not a religious person, I don't feel like if I wear a cross is doing anything bad to me. I'm not like a vampire or some shit. I don't.
Can I get your take on something real quick? Because I'm hearing you talk about atheism. I want you to respond to something. I don't think atheism is truly possible for the human spirit. Like, and people say they're atheists, but what I think really happens is atheism always boils down to self-worship. And that's really what I think.
Atheism is not real. A few years ago, there was a whole atheism wave on the internet, all the atheists, you know, the dark web intellectual niggas and all that. There was this one channel that was big on YouTube, Atheism is Unstoppable. And then now we're at the point where there's like this religious revolution kind of low-key happening. And I've kind of come to the conclusion that atheism just isn't really real. It's impossible to not believe in God in some fashion.
Like, and people say they're atheists, but what I think really happens is atheism always boils down to self-worship. And that's really what I think. As people, we're all worshipful to some degree. And so people say they're atheists, but in reality, they just worship the self. And so, like, earlier when we were having that whole debate, that's what we were kind of trying to pull out of you, like where your morals and values come from, and they come from the self. And so that's kind of why I think it's really impossible to be an atheist. Everybody believes and worships something.
Could I say
you always have to.
I was going to say, even in religion, like from my philosophy is, bro, even in religion, you worshiping yourself. Because everything, like, all right, how I look at this world, bro, is like everything is connected, right? And we are smaller parts of the whole thing that is, like, we want to call it God, the universe, whatever. So if you worship in the higher version or the highest version of yourself, you call the most high, that is like self-worshiping, because everything in this reality is a reflection of yourself. You know what I'm saying? So I look at it as, I look at even religion as self-worshiping.
I think you stated it, but kind of skipped over it. The fact that you make yourself this team, you're an infinitely small part of an infinitely grand whole, right? That literally makes yourself nothing. So how can it be self-worship when you acknowledge that before God you're nothing?
No, I'm not acknowledging that I'm nothing. I'm acknowledging that I'm everything. I'm acknowledging that I'm a small part of everything, and the everything.
Exactly. The part that's you is the smallest part. The part that's everything is God. That's literally the point of religion, is to get you to separate those two.
But the part that's me is not the smallest part. I even got smaller parts that make up me. I got cells. They migrate. They come together, make more cells. They destroy each other. I got bacteria living on me. I got all sorts of shit that.
That's all the you, though. That's still the you. What I'm trying to say, though, is that what you consider the self.
Wait a minute, bro. All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
All I'm saying is what you consider the self. The point of religion is to accept that yourself is simply a teeny tiny thing in the face of God. So when you say it's self-worship, I'm saying the whole point of it is to take the self out of it. So like every religion you talk about, especially the big ones, Buddhism, all the Abrahamic religions, you literally kneel before God. You actually sacrifice the self for God.
You separating yourself from the collective. You making that one of the main shit that I don't really like with humans is that we always try to separate ourselves from everything else because we want to feel special. You know what I'm saying? If I'm separating myself from everything else, you know what I'm saying, that's gonna give me a limited perception of reality. Because we got two identities we juggling all the time. Our collective identity as the all, and then our what's the opposite of collective? It's late, man. I'm tired. Yeah, like all right. You got
individual.
Here we go. You got an individual identity, and that's your soul, right? But then you are collective too, because you everything and you the one thing at the same time. Because how I subscribe to.
You know, I realize, and let me say, shout out to Stefan Molyneux. He's actually back up on the internet. He's on Twitter, X right now, and I don't know, he might be doing Rumble live streams. I haven't really caught him yet, but he probably is on Rumble. But Stefan Molyneux, years ago, he was I guess his professional title is a philosopher, right? I guess if you would ask him what he does, he's a philosopher. He philosophizes for a living. And one thing about the very concept of philosophy is that it's sort of training your mind to ask questions and to kind of do away with the sillier questions and to focus on the questions that really, really get to the heart of the thing you're trying to describe. Because every philosophical debate has a particular thing at its heart. It has a certain object at its core, and you're trying to describe the object and understand the nature of this object, whatever it may be. And you kind of have to learn how to filter away the nonsensical questions and get to the things that are really most pertinent to the nature of the thing. And what I realize is that when it comes to like a lot of these Black discussions that I get into, there's a lot of lack of focus on particular, like a lot of people haven't focused intensely on the particular idea that they're talking about, or they haven't really sharpened and mastered a way to deliver the idea succinctly. And it's one of the things I try to like work on myself, is how to deliver it properly and how to understand it so I can make other people understand it better. And I think we kind of stumbled into the area here with a witch doctor where it sounds like you're having difficulty either expressing or understanding your own belief system.
Us all being parts of the infinite thing, or we want to call it God or the universe, the world, whatever, is the same thing. It's like if we inside a God type shit, you know what I'm saying? We inside of the universe, we inside of whatever it is we talking about, right? So we always juggling them two identities, the identity of being an individual and the identity of being a collective, because I'm a collective of shit that make me up. And we collectively make up the earth. And the earth or whatever collectively make up whatever. And whatever that is collectively make up some other shit, you know?
The problem he's having in this sort of theological discussion is he's being very materialist in that he's talking about I'm a collective of things. You know, there are things inside of my body that make my body go, right? But the problem is, what are the collective things that make up your soul? And this is the problem. We're having a metaphysical conversation, and you're kind of talking about like all of the atoms in my body connect me to all of the atoms in the universe. That's not exactly what's going on here.
I'm saying?
Well, that's the whole point of religion. So back to the whole thing about worshiping the self as a physical being, like we all are part of the physical reality. The first thing we do is recognize self, right? Like that whole moment of looking yourself in the mirror, understanding that I am a person or whatever. It actually puts the position of religion, and the purpose of religion is to get you to acknowledge and to value that whole collective thing. And so that's literally why people go on these journeys and have these psychedelic missions, and they come back like, oh my God, like they're part of this big grand thing. Like it happens all the time because that's a part of what people are.
Stuff is explained already, though. A lot of that stuff is explained.
And that's not what religion promotes, bro. Religion literally tells you to worship something outside of yourself.
You know, Dick Thug, let's get really, really deep in the metaphysics right now. Dick Thug with the $10 super chat, he says, I remember on Truism's live stream that this white guy was debating about reality. I asked him, is the table touching the wall? He gave a very unsatisfactory answer. That worries me a lot. What if I were to tell you, Dick Thug, hold on. I gotta drop the let me drop the drop and then we'll get back to that. Shout out to Dick Thug for smashing that super chat button. Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry. You not like Hulk angry. Hulk no like fighting girls. All right, let's get really deep into the Matrix right now, because you done activated my my nerd brain. What if I were to tell you, Dick Thug, that the wall and the table are never actually touching? What if I were to tell you that nothing ever actually touches anything? Because technically, at the atomic level, atoms can never touch. Atoms don't physically touch one another. And so they can be kind of like condensed into a particular space, and that space can kind of be given mass and shape. And this is how we have objects with mass and shape. But technically speaking, objects don't actually touch each other, because even on the atomic level, they may be held together by some kind of energetic bond, but they don't actually touch. And so as your hand, if you're at a table like I am right now, and I just put my hand on my table, my brain perceives this physical reality as my hand resting on the table. But the truth of the matter is, none of the atoms that make up my hand are physically touching the table. That is some Matrix, what do you call that? theoretical physics right there. That is theoretical physics. You say, oh, the table and the wall are indeed touching because the energetic fields are included in the table and the wall. But an energetic field has no mass. An energetic field has no actual physical density or anything. And so what is touching? That's like telling me the wind is touching the water or something. It's the wind doesn't really have a physical body, right? Yet but you can feel the movement from the force that the wind generates. And I'm arguing that on that level, theoretically, nothing is actually touching. Like when you put your hands together in front of you right now, like make the prayer hands together, your hands are not physically touching one another. They're still at a microscopic, not even microscopic, at the atomic level. There's apparently like an energetic bond. Someone typed the covalent bond in the chat. Like apparently, and I hope I'm explaining this correctly, because, you know, it's not like I do theoretical physics for a living, but this is the concept as I heard it explained. Like there's still a sort of energetic level that is kind of physically separating the atoms from actually touching. And then Dick Doug says, I know that, but even if atoms could, the only thing that the word touch applies to is that which approaches something. I'm not sure how to deal with that. The word touch applies to that which approaches something. I mean, the approach and the conclusion aren't exactly the same thing, though. You can forever approach a thing. And maybe that's one of the real, like, ironies of the nature of reality. We're forever approaching, but never actually touching anything. Sort of like man's attempt at religion, right? We're forever approaching the mind of God, but we can never actually touch it. Pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. Like I said, I don't do that kind of, you know, stuff for a living. It's really freaky spaghetti math when you get down to it.
Well, religion does that, yes, but I mean, there's the perversion, and then there's the kind of the pure idea.
God is so divine that you shouldn't even. So a nigga looked at God and turned into some shit like that. I can't even remember, but it literally, to me, it make you feel powerless. Like literally everything you do bad, you blame the boogeyman, the devil, and you don't take no accountability. That's literally somebody.
Well, I think the idea of being powerless in front of the concept of God, I think, yes, you are powerless, right? That is a natural understanding of it, but I don't think it's powerless in the way he's saying, like, oh, the God made me do it or the devil made me do it. I think he's kind of taking a different take on it.
Somebody else made you did that shit, which in the devil and God, all of that shit is you too. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's how I look at it.
I will tell you that my perspective is similar to that. Being a part of the church on the level, especially on the level of pastors and these, you know, different people, you start to see that it's a power play. It's just like anything else, because we're human beings. We're looking for purpose, whether you find that in anything, just to what the other brother has said.
Exactly. I'm glad you point out accountability, because like that's one of the key things why I do subscribe to atheism. This is one of the things, right? Like if I do something bad or fucked up or whatever, the average Christian will be like, oh, the devil made me do it or whatever, and at the same time, God will make it better. But at the same time, but now that I'm an atheist, and if something bad happens to me, or if I do something bad, then I can't be like, oh, the devil made me do it and God will make it better. Why? Because by definition, I'm an atheist. I don't believe in none of that shit, right?
But
right?
To me, being an atheist is kind of mentally lazy, respectfully. Being an atheist is like, to me, is like mentally lazy, and it's like you're literally playing against your imaginative nature. Because I could say that I don't know that there's no God. That's why I would say being an agnostic is to me, the agnostic shit is one of the most genuinely honest philosophy, because you acknowledging that there might be a higher power, but you just don't know. And I think most religious people is agnostic, but they just have blind faith or blind belief. You know what I'm saying? So they don't gotta admit to being agnostic, admit to not knowing. Because my pastor know and he tell me, so I believe. Instead of me being like, you know what, I'm not sure, you know what I'm saying, but I'm willing to find out. This is why most Christians are most people who are strong in religion, they don't seek to find out nothing. They just seek to dig deeper into whatever doctrine they're being taught. You know what I'm saying?
That's why earlier Nidus mentioned something about like being somewhat like culturally Christian but not worshipful, like he's not a churchgoer. And I think I'm something like that too. I'm a Christian agnostic. You know, I don't know that it's absolutely true, but it's the closest thing to logic I can come up with.
And I get that most people in different religion they express the same thing as the closest thing that they could believe in, the closest thing they find to some sort of reality, some sort of foundation for their reality. But to me, that's living in fear too. That's literally like you believing out of fear type shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like
that
a lot of
definitely
things.
was. Go ahead.
Now I was gonna say when and this is since I was probably like 14. It probably around when I started smoking weed and shit or whatever. You know what I mean? But ever since I stopped believing in a lot of that religious shit, it helped me to learn way more about life, like dead ass. You know what I'm saying? Just from observing and seeing how everything relate to each other. And I used to wish that I could free other people from religion. I used to be on some debating people about their religion. But me and Giz had a conversation one time, and I was like, because he was on the same shit. I was like, man, I don't want to take nobody religion away because I don't got nothing to replace it with for them. Because I see a lot of people need that shit for their structure and shit like this. I'm not against religion. I just don't want to subscribe to that shit because it just limit my perspective of shit. You know what I mean?
I mean, I engage with in conversations like this when it comes to religion too. And you touched on something like, okay, I'm not gonna go that far because
let me ask you, you on the LSD, bro, or the shrooms?
Me?
Yeah.
LSD shrooms, no, I don't do that shit. But
shout out to Dick Thug with the $10 super chat. He says the word touch was only subscribed to beings that approach objects. In other words, touch is used wrong. Things don't touch things twice on the atomic level and the linguistic level. Thank you once again for smashing that super chat button. I will be right back with a response. You're going to like this.
Hulk! Smash! Smash you! You make Hulk angry! You not like Hulk angry! Hulk no like fighting girls.
This is, yes, I went to Google, sue me. The concept that two objects can never truly touch is a consequence of how matter is structured at the atomic and subatomic levels. While it appears we touch things, the reality is that atoms and their constituent particles, like electrons, never physically collide. Instead, they interact through electromagnetic forces, specifically repulsion, preventing true contact. So that feeling of actually touching or holding an object is our mind body's attempt to process being repelled on an atomic level. These two things are actually repelling when they that feeling of touching is the feeling of repulsion, essentially. Here's a more detailed explanation. Atoms and electrons. Actually, you know what? Let me not talk so much. Let's just go to the white guy video.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here, and today we're going to get close, like really close. In fact, I want to answer the question, what's the closest we can get to other objects and other people? Now, it might sound like a kind of simple, easy question, but when you get down to the atoms of it, it's quite complex and might leave you feeling a little bit alone. When I go like this, my fingers, for all intents and purposes, are touching, but at an atomic level, they're not.
So here, and this is why it is the mind, it's a paradox. And that's why I said your mind body is trying to figure it out, because it's a paradox of being in reality, I suppose, right? Because your consciousness is not a physical thing, but you exist in a physical realm. You have to process something that you're not physically a part of, right? Which is reality, I suppose, the physical reality. Like your mind and your body technically aren't in the same place. It's a weird sort of thing of being alive, right? So your mind body is trying to understand the fact that if I'm made up of atoms, everything in the world is made up of atoms, right? On the atomic level, we are all constructed of these little tiny building blocks called atoms, right? Now, even atoms themselves can be broken down into quarks and protons and electrons and all that, but generally that one unit is called an atom. Now, the nature of an atom is that atoms, nor their associated parts, their electrons floating around or their protons or whatever that floats around, those parts never actually collide with anything. So if atoms never touch other atoms and we're all made up of atoms, do we ever actually touch anything else, right? That is the literal paradox of it all. Your mind body is literally attempting to solve like a glitch in the matrix, you know?
That's right. In fact, if you're sitting in a chair right now, your body is technically not touching the chair at all. Instead, you are hovering above the chair by some tiny, tiny atomically sized gap, something too small for us to even see, but it's there. And it's caused by the fact
literally a distance that can only be seen by the eye of God,
that your butt and the chair are made out of atoms. Now, as we all know, the matter that we deal with every day is made out of atoms. And an atom is a nucleus surrounded by an outer shell of orbiting electrons. Now, when two atoms get close to each other that aren't going to bond or chemically react, they have trouble touching each other. Why? Because electrons repel one another, because they have the same charge. And because of a fancy thing called the Pauli exclusion principle, we also know that all of an atom's electrons cannot be all pushed down to the same energy level all together on the same shell.
I'm not sure if antimatter is a thing, bro. I think it's a theoretical concept. Like dark matter or whatever. It's all theoretical. I'm not sure if that's ever been physically proven.
So what this means is that if I touch something, I'm technically not really touching it. The atoms are getting quite close together, but the electromagnetic repulsion between electrons is saying, no closer. Now, of course, the nerves in my skin can feel that repulsive force, and that's what I call the texture or the feeling of the object. If I push hard enough, of course, I can break or poke into or cut something, but I'm not touching any of its matter.
And from an atomic perspective, this is what it looks like to actually cut something. And so, like, if you've watched, I don't know, like in a Marvel movie, I think I've heard Gamora say like her knife was sharpened to the point, like it's as thin as an atom. Like the tip of her knife has sharpened to the point it can slice between atoms, right? That's what this looks like, basically. And so even when you're cutting through something, you're not actually touching it. You're just, you have something that's sharp enough to literally kind of get between and break some of these atomic bonds. but it's literally just repelling them with an energetic force. And they call it electromagnetic. They call it electromagnetic, but really it's just a word. They don't really know what the force is.
I'm just pushing it out of the way using the electron-electron repulsion forces. Even though, so you can cut things really easily like this, the scissors never touched the card. This is where it gets depressing. What all of this means is that when you kiss your girlfriend or pet your dog or hug your grandmother, you're not actually making contact with their matter.
Technically, we're all virgins, Free Zone. Technically, from an atomic perspective, we are all dry virgins, bro. None of us, male or female, no one in the history of humanity has ever been truly touched before. Right. Manosphere physics. Listen. Look. I've gotten so far, red pill. I've come to the realization that everyone's a virgin. No one has ever actually been touched before. You're not truly red pill until you come to the acknowledgement that no one has ever touched anyone. Right? That's the real red pill. Right, we're all incels in God's therapy camp, right? That's all this is, bro. This is one big therapy camp, and we're God's patients, bro. We are all incels, man. That is the red pill of it all. It gets so bleak down at the atomic level. No one has ever done anything. It's really crazy. Yeah. And this is why, like, people who take drugs and they go off, they drink the ayahuasca and they start talking to the mind, body, spirit, serpent people. They come back crazy. Because like this stuff is really freaky when you try to really, really process it from a logical mind. This is why you kind of have to take a lighthearted tone with it. Your mind body can't really process true reality. True reality has never been tried before. We're all just sort of trying to get as close as possible to one another. That's the best we can do, because true reality has never been done before.
You're not technically touching them. You're just feeling the repulsive force of their electrons. But maybe there's hope. Let's just avoid electrons altogether and ask ourselves, what can we do to affect the nucleus of someone else's atoms? Maybe we can do that. You're going to have to be a little bit radioactive if you're going to want to do this. And luckily, people are a little bit radioactive. In fact, if you sleep in a bed with another person for an entire year, your body is actually exposed to 1 millirem more radiation than someone who sleeps alone.
Whoa. This is why we are all desperately trying to get close to each other. We're trying to share that energy. This got real deep.
Now, we are talking about tiny, tiny amounts that really don't affect your body at all, but still, they're there. How do they get there? Well, carbon-14.
You only thought you were inside of a nuclei. Really, what just happened though? That was your mind body trying to perceive the unreality of being trapped inside another physical thing. It was all some kind of illusion. You were there, but you weren't really there.
It's in the air, and potassium-40 is in bananas. That's right. Bananas have a really high potassium content. In fact, any food that has a lot of potassium in it, like Brazil nuts, is going to act the same way. All that potassium's fine and dandy, but about 1 out of every 8,000 or so potassium atoms is a radioactive isotope of potassium. In fact, if you were to eat 600 bananas, it would be the equivalent of getting a chest x-ray. Okay.
That's a lot of bananas. Who would even do this?
Okay, cool. So I am a little bit radioactive. Does that mean that if I hug someone really close, that some sort of radioactive ray might come out of my body and go into someone else's body and get absorbed into a nucleus of one of their atoms, and then we can really finally say that we touched on a fundamental level? Maybe. The radiation that comes out of us is very unlikely to hit someone else's atoms. And because people...
And so like when hippies talking about sharing your energies and all of that, they're technically not wrong. And now this is where it gets really, really, really freaky. Really, really, really freaky. And before we do that, shout out to Dick Doug with the 5-ball. He says, I agree with you 100. I was just pointing out that we use terms for objects that are meant for people, similar to us saying the computer is at rest. No, yeah, we obviously understand each other fine. I think you're up on the whole touch paradox thing. But it was a tangent I just felt like going down because it's funny to talk about when you think about it. Like, because we never actually touch each other, something on a subconscious level, like our energies do have that sort of electromagnetic attraction to one another. And so from a sexual perspective, right, the bonding of sexuality isn't just a chemical bonding. It's a literal energetic bonding, right? And so this is when you get into like occult sexual practices and even the concept of tantric sex, right? It's not like tantric sex isn't an occult practice. Like I don't think it's something you have to join a cult to do it, right? But it's sort of on that level of being physically inside of the partner of the female and then maintaining that stimulation while not actually moving. You're just sort of there. And in there, you're just in there, standing strong. You just like hugging each other in some kind of yogic position in there, like looking into each other's eyes for like 12 minutes at a time, just there, just in it. Like there's that whole thing isn't about the physical act of having sex. It's literally about exchanging the energies, and then something about the physical body, it kind of produces, it becomes more energetic in that way during the act of sex, right? So what you're doing is hyping the physical body up to produce that sort of metaphysical energy, and then you're sharing those energies, right? And that's as close as you can ever get to touching. I know. I said a whole lot. No. That's black magic, Lyrian. That's literally black magic. That's what that's the Illuminati magic. If that's what you do, that's the magic that you do when you want to get rich in Hollywood. All right, that's not the same magic I was talking about. That's not the that's not the good sex magic. That's the Hollywood Illuminati sex magic. That's that Aleister Crowley energy. Not Lyrian. No. But bussy magic is black magic, bro. No bussy magic. This is a different type of energy. You see, magic itself is relatively neutral. You can go either way. You can go to the light with your woman, or you can go to the dark side in Hollywood. That's why Diddy was on trial. He offended some of the wrong people, and he had to atone. Because he did bussy magic to the wrong people, and they were like, all right, I'm gonna fix him.
Don't contain a lot of radioactive material in their bodies. That energy is just going to get absorbed. You're not going to really know that it happens, and the chance, like I said, is super unlikely. So maybe we should go back a little bit and talk about chemical reactions. Back when I mentioned that atoms have trouble touching, they are a little more friendly if they get together and, share electrons. Now, this kind of stuff is happening all the time. When I eat food, my body is chemically reacting with that food to take out the nutrients, get rid of the stuff I don't want. But short of being a cannibal and eating someone's arm or being...
Which is the only other way you can actually physically touch, is to actually consume them and break them down on a chemical atomic level. And so when the primitive tribes do cannibalism because they want to eat the magic of the white man, or who is it? The albinos. I hear albinos are hot in Africa, right? If you're an albino in Africa, you're on the Magic Most Wanted list. They will come and snatch you in the middle of the night and do all kind of things with you, mostly eat you, because they want to take your magic. Like, how did this nigga become the white man? That's literally magic to the African witch doctor mind. And so the theory is, if I consume you, then I can literally make you a part of me. No. Listen. This is kind of, I think they do a lot of bussy magic in Africa too, but that's another thing. But yeah, this is literally eat the white man, eat the magic of the white man. Yes, that's literally how that works, right? So look it up. They have this thing with albinos where they consume them for ritual purposes or whatever. And the theory behind it is that that's the only other way that I can like physically touch you, is to like break you down at an atomic level. And therefore the molecules and atoms that were in you are now in me. And then my body can further break those down and then have those things become a part of me. And so when they say I consume him and I take his power, I mean, they're still crazy savages, but there's like a weird pseudo theory behind it.
In a zombie, how can I get chemically reactionally close to a person? Well, luckily, there is a thing called birth. When you're growing inside your mother, your father and mother's DNA are all working together in chemical ways to create you. Because they're sharing electrons, it seems at least more like a touch. I guess what I'm trying to say is that, in a way, your parents and your children are the only people you can know for certain you've come the closest to actually touching.
And that's why body count matters. I know we did all of that to end on, and that's why body count matters, right? Because I want to know for a fact that kid has been mine. You've never been touched. That was my touch. Nobody else can touch my touch. That was mine. I did that. I know, right? That was crazy. That was a crazy thing to end on, but it's literally science, nigga. Scientifically, you're a thought, all right? I just want you to understand, being a thought from a scientific perspective is a negative thing. And from a biological evolutionary perspective, men are wired to avoid it, right? It's biology, it's evolution, it's science. We just not supposed to love them thoughts because it's bad for your future development. Because the only other human individual you know for a fact that you could have ever possibly touched, kind of theoretically, is your offspring. And so if she running around with another man's offspring, that's like you touching another man's nuts. And I just can't live like this. That is savagery. That's basically back to bussy magic. Like, no, and you can't build civilization with men metaphysically touching other men's nuts, right? Which brings us back to the Obama thing. It's all interconnected. Can you see how all the dots are actually connected? How it all together as one in this giant scheme of things? Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro. The technology, man. The technology. We had to take the long kind of circular path. It was a long, winding road, but we had to travel the long and winding road to fully understand the technology of it all. It's all interconnected. Trey, that's what happens when you skip steps on the long and winding road. This nigga said I come back and you're talking about grabbing nuts. No, Trey, I said metaphysically, raising another man's kids is like grabbing another man's nuts, bro. That you came back at like the worst possible moment for understanding. You literally have to rewind it just like 5-10 seconds. If you would have came in and rewound it 5 or 10 seconds, it would have all tied together. That's all I'm saying is from a metaphysical, from an atomic level, because we just went through this whole thing about how as a human individual, you can never touch, right? And so your consciousness is really like alone in your physical body, desperate to contact something else. And you're trying to do that from a sexual perspective. And so sexually, we're trying to get all together. And that's why they have all the sex magic and the ritual sex practice and the tantric and all that shit. And then you're really trying to touch on that physical level, but that's kind of physically impossible from the atomic level. And then the closest thing you can maybe do to get around that is the cannibal stuff. And that's what we talked about, the cannibalism. And then we wound up talking about that's why body count matters, because technically the only person that you ever truly touch is because your offspring literally comes from your body. And then your sperm like kind of mixes and mashes with her ovum, and that makes your children. That's why body count matters, because that's as close as we could ever get to ever touching someone else is actually reproducing. And that's why women, low-key, we worship women as sort of magical or whatever. That's a whole nother thing I'll come back to in a minute. But because we're desperate to touch, we're trying to reproduce. The only way to touch, we're trying to touch. The only way to touch is to reproduce. That's the closest we'll ever get. And body count matters because this really is quantum game. You niggas need to be taking notes. You niggas better be recording this, better be taking notes. I might put this behind a paywall just because. But body count matters because that man put himself in her body. And for you to raise his children, you're metaphysically touching his nuts. And no civilization has been built by men metaphysically touching each other's nuts. You walked in on the wrong part of that, Trey, but I promise you, it was all built up to a piece. You can tell this is a well thought out metaphysical quantum game theory, because not only did I walk you through it on the slow burn, I just rehashed it right back to you, because that's what you should be able to do. If it's your idea and your concept, you should be able to slow dance it and fast talk it at the same time. And that's what we just did. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I need to take a break now. I've been talking quite a lot because Trey came in and I didn't want Trey to get the wrong idea. Like, nigga, we were building up to a grand scheme. This is like walking in the middle of a high level college level. This is like I'm on some Jordan Peterson in his prime type shit. I'm giving up deep game here. This is deep quantum game right here. Niggas don't understand how deep the game goes, bro. Niggas don't understand how deep the game goes, man. Shout out to the Midwest Request with the 2-ball. Simping and cucking is gay to the soul. Definitely is. Definitely. Simping and cucking, it literally perverts the soul. And look. Now when you get into like breaking a man, like this is why, you know, that kind of thing is dangerous to the concept of masculinity. This is why when we have these like manosphere red pill conversations and the whole Obama gay thing comes up, there's always that distinction between masculinity and what the gay niggas do. Because there are a lot of, you know, gay men who do, you know, some of them niggas can fight, you know, some of them niggas are murderers and all that shit. So it's not to say that they're not physically men, but from a psychological perspective, linking the acts of homosexuality to masculinity is just a non-starter, because homosexuality literally kind of dampens the potential masculinity that could be. Like, for example, and this is why I know Nightish did some sucker shit by taking that stream down, because Nightish and I were having this debate just yesterday, right after that whole stream I was just on with Not For Humans, because Nightish was there too. Nightish and I had this conversation about masculinity, and Nightish is like, well, you can't say masculinity is under attack because you have to accept it. And I'm like, it doesn't matter if you accept it or not. People do what they do in the world. Like their intentions are what they are, whether you accept it or not. And so he's like, well, it's not real if you don't accept it. And so I'm like, all right. So now I show him the picture of, I said, type up, Google Devin is amazing, right? There was this transgender kid, because the idea of masculinity being under attack becomes most crystallized when you look at the concept of transgender children. You are literally attacking their mind, body, soul with sexuality. And exposing young children to any kind of sexuality is harmful, but especially to the male mind, to expose them to that type of sexuality, it is very, very damaging to the man's mind. And so that's why there's always like this hard line between the concept of masculinity and homosexuality. This is why Obama is getting a ton of pushback right now online, because like, nigga, you crazy. You was straight up retarded thinking all of this stuff you be thinking about.
But the thing about that is, but I'm going to counter your point as far as like laziness with atheism. I mean, like I said earlier, if I feel like that it is actually the opposite as far as being lazy.
Yeah, I know. I just slipped into my Jordan Peterson mode. I'm working on a theory of everything. You know, this is the kind of stuff I contemplate when I'm up late at night. You know, I'm constructing a theory of everything. How the red pill, the black pill, the blue pill, the pink pill, how it's all one big pill.
Mentally, because let's say, like I said, like religious people, they'll blame the devil as far as something bad happens to them and hope for good, and just hope that something good in return happens for God, right? But like with atheism, like let's say something bad happens to me, you know, it'll force me mentally to analyze, and acknowledge, okay, this is fucked up, and then it'll help me. And then that's when I use my critical thinking skills as far as analyzing the fucked up shit that happened to me, as far as how did I get here and what could I have done better and what not to do to prevent this from happening again, and then just keep it pushing. And also,
the only thing I don't like about the atheism shit.
I'm not finished. Sorry, but and also, and most importantly, it'll help me to think and come up with ways to overcome that scenario on my own, and most importantly, on top of that, also,
bro got a lot of fluid in his sinuses, Trey. The nigga got a lot of fluid in his sinus, man. You know what it is, bro. I don't want to say these words, man. You know what it is. That's why he sound like that.
How not to be
nigga clogged up,
put myself in that situation again at the same time. And once you do achieve that point after dealing with that fucked up situation, you'll feel even better about yourself, about, hey, I did this, and feel better about yourself, basically, as far as like your.
Now I see what Hood was saying. Now I see what Hood is saying. This is like extreme self-worship. You know what I'm saying? Because now, from what you're saying, is like an atheist acknowledge themselves or humans as the highest form of life, the highest life form type shit. Because with atheism, you're not acknowledging that there's no power higher than you. You like, I'll put accountability on me and I'll figure out a way. You know what I'm saying? And that's cool and all, but it's like, to me, it's lazy. It's like, you don't, it's like, and it feeds the human ego into thinking that we like God, we like the.
It's crazy how niggas who don't believe in like higher order and rules and stuff like that, they kind of inevitably slip into doing some gay shit. I don't know what it is about this connection, but I'm telling you, because like even with the occult and all the what do you call it? The devil worship kind of stuff. There's a lot of occult homosexuality.
We like right after God is humans, or not even right after God is humans. In atheism, it sounds like you're saying the humans is the highest God, and I don't think humans is the highest entity, bro.
I mean, okay. Well, I'm not saying. Is it really that bad? When it comes to self-worship, is that really a bad thing, especially if you're willing to put in the work to prove how that you are a good person,
It's not bad.
Literally what the devil says, bro. This is literally Christian theology. You have no idea how Christian you sound, but you're the devil, though.
I mean, but okay, well, God.
Straight up Luciferianism.
Is it God self-worship too? While asking everybody else for worship?
Yeah, I don't subscribe to the devil, but what I would say is it is kind of like on some human ego shit. And it's like you don't want to acknowledge that there's nothing higher than you. If you could acknowledge that there's lower things than you could zoom in on cells, and it's pretty sure if a cell had a microscope, they'll see smaller things that they could see that you can't see. It's infinite. Wait a minute, it's lower energies and it's higher energies. To me, atheism is like, it's too absolute, you know what I'm saying? And we live on a bunch of scientific theories. It's not like we living on a bunch of scientific facts alone. We got a bunch of theories. So just being an atheist, to me, that's too close-minded type shit, you know what I mean?
I mean, it's like this. Like, if I was a wide receiver and I was talking shit like, hey, I'm the shit, I'm the best at this, at catch, you know, making, you know, and I got the stats and shit like this to prove it, right? That's for, you know what I'm saying? Like, I got
that's cool and all, but then there's somebody that own your team and they higher than you. So you acknowledge that you're doing all this shit on the field.
What is saying is this, like, is that wide receiver that's like getting all the stats and the TDs and points on the board? I mean, is it really higher worship if he doesn't back it up?
No, it is. It is, but it's a limited perception, is a limited perspective, because you on the field getting all these accolades, but there's a nigga that own the team that don't got to do none of that shit, that's making buku bread off of your ass. So how does all of your stats and your accolades match up to the nigga that literally own your team and could trade you off type shit, and you ain't even got no control of that shit? So you gotta acknowledge there's somebody higher than you, and you gotta acknowledge there's people lower than you. There's the water boy, there's the people that gotta clean up the field when y'all dip and everything. So you can't just live in your own ego and be like, oh, it's just me, and it's just I got all these accolades, because humans could do all that shit, but then humans can fuck with the sun. You know what I'm saying? Humans got anything that is human made, it requires heavy maintenance, whereas nature got a more holistic way of maintaining itself. So to just acknowledge you a human and you get all these accolades, you done tame a lion and all that shit, you forgetting that, yeah, you playing all of that shit on the field, but there's a nigga that owned the whole team. You know what I mean?
I feel like that's okay. To be fair, that was Eric. Okay, what I'm arguing is that, like, there's a difference between arrogance and confidence, right? Like, as far as like, you can acknowledge and be humble at the same time. Hey, I'm the best player on here and on this football team, right? I'm getting all the points on the board, keep making a whole, you know, you have a whole bunch of catches and shit. But
who would you gotta humble yourself to?
Humble yourself too. I mean, you will humble yourself as the other team, is be like, you know, I'm the shit and I got all of this stuff, but I wouldn't have gotten all this stuff, you know, without the team. You know, that's being confident while being humble to the other team. Now,
while being humble to the team owner.
Yeah. Then there's arrogance, saying that, hey, I'm the shit, and then there's the arrogant side, which is you're saying, hey, I'm the shit, and if this team didn't have me at all, this team wouldn't be shit at all because everybody on here sucks, you know? So, I mean, I would rather be confident than arrogant, which I imagine that even you have to acknowledge that you yourself at that ascribe to that, because I mean, and that's not really a bad thing, because
I gotta be confident in it.
Yeah.
Hold
on. I'm almost done. I mean, think about it. You as a YouTuber, right? You're running this channel, right? You have to carry yourself as being confident at the same time if you want to be bigger than what you are right now, right? Like, imagine that you can be a bigger YouTuber if you're like, hi guys, this is my opinion, and you know, I just want to be humble to everybody. But if you're like, no, I'm not human, I'm the shit, I'm number one, you know. No, but at the same time, there's a people in this hangout, you know.
But it's a slippery slope, because if I'm saying that I'm not for humans, I'm number one, right? is not giving me that hunger that I need to grow. Because this is how I operate. Like, I gotta have room. Yeah, I could be confident, but I gotta acknowledge that there's bigger channels than me, so I could know where I'm at, so I could see where else I gotta go. Because I don't compete with I know my lane. You know what I'm saying? If I'm in the same lane as another YouTuber, then I could probably, like, we could actually be competing. But I gotta acknowledge that there's bigger YouTubers than me, and also I gotta acknowledge that there's people that own YouTube, and they could just cut my water off at any time type shit. So that's acknowledging there's a higher power. And a lot of times when you on some atheist shit, it seems like atheists acknowledge humans as the highest shit on earth, or the highest shit in existence. You know what I mean? And they don't acknowledge nothing past being humans.
I mean, due to the fact by nature atheism that doesn't believe in higher power. I mean, it's not, I feel like if you want to look at it from that perspective, I mean, we do that because atheism, as far as I look at it, like atheism, like if you look at life through the lens of an atheist, we just look at we just look at it this way: you only got one life to live, and you got to live it to the fullest, because after that, there's nothing else left.
And this is what basically the concept of Luciferianism starts to pop up, where there is no God, so there are no rules. Man is the greatest thing in existence, so whatever man decides to do is fine, because there is no right and wrong, there is no good and evil, there's just man and his will. Very Nietzschean.
So I mean, I guess you're all right in a sense that, yeah, we kind of do, because we're the only life as it stands right now until there's undeniable proof otherwise.
So if there's proof no, then you're not an atheist no more.
What do you mean?
I'm asking you because that's what agnostic is. Agnostic is,
no,
there might be a higher power, but I just don't know for sure.
No,
atheist is saying that I know. You know what I'm saying?
No, there's a difference. Agnostic is saying, hey, yeah, I acknowledge the life here on earth and the possibility that there's other life or a higher power or whatever. Atheism is saying, hey, I don't believe in a higher power or another life until the proof is shown to me. There's a difference. I don't know if you see a difference in what I said, but
oh, I thought atheism was some absolute shit. My bad. I thought it was more some.
Yeah, like let's say if I die and then guess what? I see you die or whatever, then I'll be like, oh shit, my bad. I guess I was wrong. Anyway, I'll go to hell, I guess. It's, by definition, according to the Bible, I'm going to hell since I didn't believe in God. So, whatever.
Well, there's something else I wanted to point out to you, because we were talking, I pointed out like the devil and all that, and I called you're basically speaking of biblical principle, but you're taking the devil's advocate position. And then there's literally like a Christian explanation of what you're talking about. And so the idea is, and from the Luciferian perspective, it's not Christian explanation, it's Luciferianism, really. But Lucifer being the devil, right? Because you are God, you can do whatever you want, right? Do as thou will. So that explains your support of things like homosexuality. And to be fair, from the pure atheist perspective, from the pure Luciferian perspective, there is nothing that's considered, quote, wrong. And so that's the danger in your position. And so if you simply just go by, well, whatever I feel, then there's no reason, there's literally nothing stopping you from doing whatever evil abomination you can consider. And so from a religious perspective, it grounds you by acknowledging there are rules and there are powers above you. There's a system that exists outside of the self that you have to actually bend to.
Wait, so if you're saying religion like has rules and grounds that prevent people from doing bad, how do you explain a shit ton of Christians doing the total opposite of the Ten Commandments?
Because they're liars. But who has?
Well, that's called sin, bro. Hold on, that's literally called sin. Just because the rules exist doesn't mean every single person is perfect or strong enough to maintain it in all moments of life. So everyone is a sinner by definition. Therefore, you should, maybe repent and ask to be forgiven. Like, this is literally the logic folds right into it.
They're just liars. So who had the
I mean, I put it this way.
United, your mic is low as hell.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I put it this way. I was the same person as a Christian before I came out as an atheist. And a lot of atheists could say the same thing. The same thing at the
Hey,
same
Omega,
time.
just a little bit off topic, and you ain't gotta answer this. You're not autistic or anything, right?
No.
No, okay. You got a lot of anxiety?
Anxiety, no.
Everybody trying to figure out what's wrong with this nigga. Like, why are you like this, bro? What type of medication you on, bro? Why you be tripping like that, man? Everybody trying to get to the bottom of this nigga. He got problems that nobody understands, man.
Nah, because we was wondering in the chat if you was tweaking on some mushrooms, bro. You know what I mean?
Oh, no.
Who has a Luciferian perspective, though? And as far as the people that say they're Christian, they're just liars.
You know what? We look at the God and Lucifer thing from a one perspective, right? But what if God was a dictator and Lucifer was a revolutionary, and God was like, "Nah, you got to get out of here because you trying to wake
I just
people up."
think
I think this is my favorite question that came up all day. What if God is a dictator? Yeah.
Lucifer is, like they say, a person who is what they talk about free will. I think Lucifer is just a person who practices free will and just doesn't have limits on himself.
And this is why there's a thing called Christian nationalism, right-wing Christian nationalism, because ultimately, and especially if you're a liberal and you think there's no wrong and there you can do whatever you want. Yeah, yes, God is a right-wing fascist, and that's what else could he be?
And just saying that God is a he, it just don't add up. How could a he make everybody else without a she? You know what I'm saying? It's just a lot of stuff don't. It just you gotta it's like when you're watching a movie and you gotta just accept whatever reality the movie throw you in so you could enjoy the movie. That's how I look.
I think God being a he. I think God being a man is the ultimate I'm him.
So 1 second.
So
Woodstock, you think?
Yeah, God being a man is it's basically the spiritual version of I'm him. I think he literally says that in the book too, by the way. I am him. Who, that guy? No, I'm him, not the other guy. I'm him.
God is a she.
Who, me? I think God is outside the realms of gender because I think you got to be physical to have. I think when you get in the physical world, then that gender shit start making sense. But it's like saying the sun is a he or a she. I think outside of our realm, it don't gotta be like that. You know what I mean? Not.
And again, from a theological perspective, because these guys probably haven't studied theology and ancient religions and all that stuff. They don't know about Ishtar and Isis and all that the way I may have studied a lot of these things. The sun is always a masculine god. The moon is always a feminine god. All around the world, I don't know if there's any culture I've ever come across or any culture that's ever been documented that had a masculine moon or a feminine sun. Moon worship, moon goddess worship is older than sun worship, but sun worship literally kind of built the modern civilizations, you know, that they all started out as like sun worshiping sky father kind of gods. Like the sky father god thing kind of, it was a development that came along with like agriculture and large scale organized warfare and all these things.
Perverted and try to be on some trans stuff, you know what I'm saying? I just think God is outside of the realm of he and she, you know what I mean? That's human.
I'll tell you, it's a symbol, but it's the ultimate I'm him though. That is, it's ironic, but
bro, I don't like I try to not I try to step outside of being a human so I could see shit from a slightly different perspective, because humans, we try to impose our logic and use it to explain everything, and we clearly don't got the capacity to understand everything. You know what I'm saying?
I know, but that's why religion is for humans. Religion is literally for humans, though. Like, what if we can only understand God properly from the male and female, because that is what we are. And so it is a more effective, it is a more productive religious scheme when God is a man.
A limited perspective, though.
We're always limited. We're always limited. We're only human.
No, you're limited. You're limited in your thinking.
Yeah, because we're not meant to be limited. Our physical body is limited, but our mind don't gotta be limited. You know what I'm saying?
Our mind is literally chained to our physical body. The separation of the two is what we typically call death.
No. I don't think so.
But typically, how else do you put your mind out of your body, bro? It's death.
Why is your mind inside of your body? Why your body is not inside of your mind?
Because God made it that way. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but
you just asked me, why is your mind inside of your body and your body not inside of your mind? Philosophical niggas, gotta love them.
It simply is that we're physically tied down to the realm of reality.
We physically tied down to our consciousness, but I actually think God is the mind, and we living inside of God. We living inside of the mind, because the mind is the only thing that could create something without needing anything else. You know what I mean?
That is another description of the universe. That is another way of describing the great cosmos, the mind of God. Every star in the galaxy is an aspect of the mind of God.
And we are aspects of the mind of God too, though.
We are. No one said otherwise.
Go. What you say, Manosphere?
No, what he's saying. Okay, you got some people. They're theists. You got some people that are atheists. You got monotheists. You have deists. Deists is a people who believe in some type of supernatural that built everything, but don't really oversee over people. You got your theists. Those are the people who believe in some type of God, either a monotheist or either monotheist or a polytheist. Those are multiple gods or one single God. They believe in one less God than the atheists. Those people. You got your atheists. You have your agnostics and things of that nature, and you got some people who just says, "I don't know." And that's the one thing about religious people. They don't know how to say, I don't know. Yeah. It's the hardest thing for them. It's their biggest downfall.
But Manosphere, you notice, I don't know is like one of the first steps to knowing. Unless you say, I don't know and I don't care right after, then you good. But I don't know. Now it pique your curiosity to find out, or at least expound upon some shit.
This is what I do. This is what I do know, okay? And I don't care what anyone says. This is what I know. I know that all the elements that builds the human body, that built planet Earth, all the matter in the universe came from a star that blew up long time ago. And it all created us. All the elements that are inside your body, that banana you eat, that goddamn...
Where did that star come from? I got to tell you, I don't claim to know everything, but I do know enough things to have confidence in my knowledge.
Everything that your body is consumed of came out of the dust from those stars, and that can be proven repeatedly. That can be proven. Now, if a God did it, or if it just happened out of total randomness, I don't know. But what I can say,
how is it possible that something like a star would randomly exist and then randomly explode? This is way too much randomness to perceive of.
Say it came from that. I can say that Earth is more than 2,000 years old. I can say that there are more humans. I can say it's a whole bunch of things. We got alligators that's proven to been out 60, that's been out with the dinosaurs. Like literally, these are things that are proven. And the problem with religion is people just don't know how to say, I don't know. They got an answer for everything. Pay attention to that. Anytime you have a religious conversation, if you give them any pushback, they don't have an answer. But guess what? They can't prove what they considered an answer. The stuff that they have out there, a lot of that stuff has been proven wrong. And then they fall into the gods of the gaps. Anything that the scientists have not proven yet, they say, well, they put God there. They put God in those gaps versus trying to figure it out or letting the experts get to that answer.
Based, I agree.
Yeah, I agree with it.
And it's like, then people get offended because you don't know. You just won't settle for something that's not making sense. And they get highly upset with it. Like literally, a banana shares 60% of your DNA. A monkey shares 99.9% of your DNA.
If a monkey is 99% similar to a human, why are they not like us? You know, and even something like evolution, the whole, you know, we evolved from monkeys and all that stuff, you know, Scopes, monkey trial stuff. When you really start to probe certain questions of it, like, so why did we stop evolving? Why are monkeys not evolving into higher apes at this point in time, right? And then don't get me on the whole missing link thing, you know, which is effectively like Bigfoot. Like science, on the one hand, from the evolutionary perspective, science will acknowledge there is a missing link in the anthropological chart. Like we don't have bones of an actual developmental chart of evolution from a lower primate to a modern Homo sapien. So there's a missing link somewhere in there, right? Now, if you happen to believe that there's a giant, hairy, proto-human, extra simian type of creature floating around in the deep, deep woods and uninhabited areas of the world, then you're crazy. You're crazy. If you believe in Bigfoot, you're crazy. But scientifically, there is a gap of something that is supposed to be kind of ape-like, but sort of human. And we just haven't quite proven it yet. But if you actually go out and try to find proof of it, you're crazy. You're a conspiracy theorist. Don't nobody need to listen to that guy. It's a really weird thing with the whole evolution game. When you start to actually ask questions about the world of evolution. So if the 2% is the missing link, shouldn't scientists be on the hunt for Bigfoot? Real question. Real question. I know this is like the most strangest rambling all over the place live stream. This is because I took like a couple days off and I just felt like streaming. Tomorrow I'll come back with a more properly organized show structure. But today we're all over the place. We've been talking about the cosmos. We talked about atoms. We talked about the black pill. We talked about body count. Now we're talking about the missing link and Bigfoot. And scientists will never find Bigfoot because Bigfoot is on the Epstein list, right? It's all connected. It's all interconnected. It's like all the dots of the universe, they actually have invisible arms reaching out, shaking each other's hands. Everything is connected. We can't find Bigfoot because that would prove the theory of evolution, and we don't want to ever prove it. And Bigfoot was also on the Epstein list, and we don't want to prove that either. And we can't let the people know that everything is all connected. It's all together. It's one. It's all one thing. Shout out to Dick Thug with the 2-ball. Eat, sleep, fight, bust is the answer, bro. Yeah, man. That's really the answer to everything. Just eat, sleep, fight, bust. And don't read the Epstein list. Don't question that missing 2%. Don't go look for Bigfoot. Don't do anything. Just eat, sleep, fight, bust, man. That's all you really need to do. You know, take some drugs, smoke some weed, smoke some meth. You know, who needs to ponder the great existence? You know, who needs to figure out all the unspeakable questions of reality? No. Just eat, sleep, fight, bust. There you go. That's my problem. I need to go ESFB, get all these deep thoughts off my chest, right? I need to flush this out of my system with a little ESFB. Wow. I don't know how we wound up on any other subject matter that we wound up on today. This was really a long, winding, meandering stream. I blame you guys. I blame you guys. You guys are supposed to keep me focused, man. I don't know what happened. I don't know how we wound up talking about any of this stuff. We're just here now. What's the weirdest subject matter that we brought up today? Like, what was the most off the wall, unexpected subject that we brought up today? Last couple of minutes. I need to get some audience feedback real quick. Last couple of minutes for those of you guys who've been kind of listening for the majority of the stream. What was the weirdest, oddest tangent that we went down? Because I know we started out weird, right? The Obama thing is inherently weird. And when you're talking about the Obama thing, you kind of have to go all the way in, pause, right? You really have to go balls deep. You have to go all the way in because it's the only way to really talk about the issues, you know, in a totality from 360 degrees. And I know in bringing up the Obama thing, we went in a lot of strange directions. I mean, I talked to you guys about atomic structure and physics and covalent bonds. When you ever heard me talk about covalent bonds up here? It's not even in my wheelhouse. I bet you niggas, half you didn't even know I was a metaphysical nigga. Half you didn't even know I was a metaphysical nigga. But I can talk about a lot of different things with a little bit of clarity. I'm ambidextrous. Shout out to Studio Ryu with the 5-ball. He says, finally, just a little something. Wish it could be more. I'm happy to get what I can get, bro. Thank you so much for the 5-ball. Appreciate you, brother.
Give me the money for I would do. Give me the money.
But yeah, what was the strangest part of today's long winding road? I was getting all metaphysical.
Now you ride the wings of eternity, you're like, yeah. She clack clack.
You know, sometimes when you trying to get deep and talk about all this high level shit, you go to different places, man. All right, Davis says grabbing balls. All right, I mean, somehow I turned the conversation about how we never physically touch on an atomic level, and I ended that with a punchline of body count and raising another man's kids is like metaphysically touching another man's balls. That I might agree with you. That was like a little bit much. That was a little bit far. That was a stretch, bro. Like sometimes I amaze myself at the stretching I be doing. That was a stretch. We did that though. That happened. That did happen. And I stand by every word of it. If you're a stepdaddy, you are metaphysically touching another man's balls. As close as you could ever be. As close as you could ever get to another man's balls. Think about it, right? Like, yeah, we're going back there. Like, no, seriously, if you're a stepfather, and I actually had a stepfather too. Think about that. Son of a bitch. Yeah, I think that nigga's still alive too. I had a stepfather once upon a time. I know that shit just made me laugh. Oh god damn, that is so funny to think about it. Because like I got a real dad and I got a stepfather. That nigga was metaphysically touching my dad's balls all those years. That's why that nigga was angry. That's exactly why that nigga was angry. That's why that nigga was mad at my mother the whole time. He was mad. He couldn't never forgive himself. He didn't know what to do with it. That nigga was angry the whole time. Fucking bitch. That shit just it doesn't heal your soul, bro. It just doesn't. It's like that. That's why shit just doesn't sit right with your soul. That's why there's that fucking that stereotype of the abusive stepfather and shit like that. That's why, because you're cucking your soul. There's something like your mind body is trying to grasp with the impossible reality that you're metaphysically touching another man's balls, and that shit just disturbs your soul, bro. That's why that shit is. That's why you got the angry, abusive stepfather stereotype. It's not a real stereotype. It's the shit the niggas be bothered, bro. The niggas really be bothered, bro. That nigga was metaphysically touching my dad. That's the whole time. That shit was bothering him on a subconscious level. He couldn't figure out what the fucking problem was, man. This is why we have a manosphere. This is why there's a red pill. This is why we have like red pill philosophy and manosphere philosophy and shit like that. Because we got to figure out what's wrong with niggas, man. And I didn't crack the code. You're welcome. All right, Dick Thug. I thank you. I thank you. You supported the show today, so I had to give up some real wisdom, man. This the type of shit you got to join a nigga's group chat. You got to join a nigga's paywall. You got to pay for this type of game, all right? Game is game. Game is game, bro. I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying. On a metaphysical level, you know, it's the covalent bonds, bro. The covalent bond is a real thing. Because look. Again, it said I was just getting over shit. I'm sorry to be digging up old wounds. I'm sorry. It is what it is. You know, we're going back to it all goes back to the fact that your consciousness doesn't exist in actual physical reality. Like your consciousness isn't physical necessarily, but you need your physical body for your consciousness to inhabit. And your consciousness can never actually physically touch anything, and you're desperately trying to touch something else. And the closest you can ever get to physically touching another being is reproduction. And so the man has to take the physical content of his balls and put them inside of the woman. And that's why body count matters, and that's why raising another man's kids is like metaphysically touching another man's balls. It's dark, it's deep, and it's sad, but it's fucking science, bro. Don't be mad at me, all right? Be mad at science, all right? I'm sorry that I'm a metaphysical, scientifical nigga, and I'm trying to share this metaphysical, scientifical wisdom game with you niggas. But it's true. It's science, bro. It really is scientific. I had a white man explain a video and all of that, man. It's not just me rambling. You know, shout out to the first organisms, by the way. We can't end this philosophical, metaphysical, scientific discussion without a nice, heartfelt shout out to the first organisms.
But if man had to find out that his God was a woman,
I say the black woman is God, and
black woman is God.
I say the black woman is God.
The black woman is God because, you know, she was the first organism on this planet.
Y'all have a great day, man. Thank you so much for hanging out. Appreciate you joining me for all of my scientifical, philosophical ramblings. But I dare you to tell me I'm wrong, though. I dare you to challenge my logic. As heartbreaking as it may be, as black-pilling as it may be, Tell me where I'm wrong. I would love to hear that. But on another day, we'll drop the link on another day. Y'all have a great day. We out of here, man.
A lot of people seem to not understand me.
Science proves that the black woman is God. We're not just saying.
See, shout out to science, by the way. Science is everything, man. You niggas not scientifical like me. That's all.
Aspiring to be patriarchs like what white men have, that isn't freedom. That isn't going to help anybody. It's certainly not going to help black people.
It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done. It's done.